All right, let's continue.
Reason why is because dating apps are strictly looks. A girl's gonna left swipe. Like if you're ugly and you go up to a girl in person, at least you can make up for it with charisma, status. Maybe you are charming, dress well, you smell well. But on a dating app, it's only your picture. And most guys
dating app is mostly
pictures.
Riz. I think it's mostly like the first couple messages. If
Nah,
I can
bro.
make her laugh, if I do a pickup,
Nah.
Honestly, I think I was just like, I was getting tilted because I didn't eat. I was hungry, man. If you guys got the same thing, like if I don't eat, I am a miserable fucking old man. Holy shit.
Bro.
If you're ugly, you might get swipe right.
For you, you can, but average guy can't.
The average guy
no,
can't.
but most of the matches where I don't put any effort, I just go head ? I'd get blocked or something like that.
Nigga, you're a chat.
Nigga,
no, I get blocked when I skip all the bullshit. When I do no Riz and I don't play a game, I just go head ? They're like, fuck you. But then I actually like play.
In public, people know who you are. Come on, man.
I don't think girls
also they swipe right.
fuck for fame as much as you guys really think so.
Oh,
no,
big
it's not
disagreement.
Well,
Big
no,
disagreement.
it's not that. It's that they swipe right on you in the first place because you're a handsome guy. Pause.
Oh,
that's what I'm trying to say.
And you look tall as well. Anyhow,
yeah.
You had a point.
I was gonna say, I think the dating app matters. Like, if a girl's on Tinder, she probably knows that the people that are looking more to fuck than if she's on like fucking Bumble or some other shit.
It does matter.
Right? Yeah, for sure. Which is why a lot of girls are on Tinder just to push their OnlyFans or their Instagram.
Or fuck. But that's a lower majority.
Fuck, yeah, I mean, that's rare.
No, I'm not on any dating apps or anything like that. I don't do that.
Instagram.
What about my Instagram?
That's the number one dating app.
Guys see Choke on there too. So what about that?
Actually, every time I don't really like do that.
She about to lie. Here we go.
No, for real. Like honestly, I don't really do the whole online thing. I would prefer like a in-person meeting. Like if I meet you in person, like we click.
You've never been on a date with a guy that hit you up on Instagram?
Never?
Come on, man.
One time. And that's it.
11 times.
Where do you meet guys normally? That's the question.
In person.
Like,
I'd rather
like at your job or at like just
no,
around,
like
or...
like for example, if I'm walking around or like they just happen to like talk to me and.
So you're walking down the street, a guy sees you and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" You chat for a little
and
bit.
I mean, if we click, we click. You know, if
you said you're dating someone now, or
I am not dating.
You're not dating
I'm single.
someone.
Yeah.
Where did you meet your last boyfriend at? But you said it was like a 10-year relationship, right?
Yeah, I was in a
He ran down on you?
What do you mean?
He came up to you in public outside?
Actually, I was the one who initiated everything.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Actually, I was with his friend and I was like, "Hey, you know him?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, I think he's going to be the father of my kids." And I shot my shot.
What did you say?
I messaged him. Actually, I called his friend and I was like, "Hey, do you think you could give me the phone number of your friend? Because I need a favor and I kind of want to talk to him."
What a stalker.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, when I like something, I like something.
So question, is he the father of your kids?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you got what you wanted.
You have kids? Wait.
Yeah, I have 2 kids.
With that guy?
With this, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just
She plotted, nigga.
I know.
And you were still calling him a loser and abusing him?
I never called him a loser.
You said you're being an asshole.
I was a little bit of an asshole. Yeah.
You gave me 2 kids, nigga.
I know.
What else do you want?
But is that an accomplishment? Is that hard to do?
I'm not.
That's the father of your kids.
Okay, so
You can
this
still
is
be a
why I
loser.
said-
You could be.
Yeah, but
This is why I said
wasn't
that
a loser.
I.
Well, she did say he had money and he was attractive and stuff.
No,
I don't know.
this is why I said that I have fucked up. As a woman, I could say that I have done my share of shit, and he's also done his share of shit. It's like a constant cycle of
You
hurt.
want him back, don't you?
Doing shit.
Yeah.
No.
He's the father of her kids. Yeah.
No,
Yes.
honestly, that chapter is done.
Would you do it? Would you do it for your kids though? Like if you had to get back with him, would you do it for your kids?
No.
Nah, nigga, he's free, man. Leave him alone.
Exactly. He is free.
Fuck that shit.
He is really free. He's really
what
free.
the fuck, Chris? All right.
He
Okay,
is
he's
really
free.
free.
So she had a full plan, action, attack to have his kids. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Okay, what about you?
All right, I am not on any dating apps, but I am a firm believer of that dating apps are for fucking. Straight up.
Do you use dating apps to fuck?
No.
Have you
I'm
ever?
not
Have
on
you,
How girls say it's for fucking, but
just
none of them
said
use
I'm
it to
not
fuck.
on
But not me.
have you ever been on one?
No.
Okay, so what about
I've
Instagram?
used Tinder for promoting my OnlyFans, but then I got banned off of it. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
from
niggas banned.
Tinder now.
Okay. Okay.
Jesus.
What about you?
Not on any dating apps.
W.
And yeah, honestly, I think even with Instagram and stuff, I think it's not really exactly like it's not too much of a dating spectrum on social media. I think most guys that are in my DMs, I think most guys that are in my DMs, I mostly ignore. I'm not interested. Most of the things they say gives me the ick.
Facts. You like
most
the
of
real
the-
life.
Yeah,
real life
I'm
energy.
gonna
I
meet them
noticed
real life.
You said most. So what makes you respond to some of
Alright.
them at least?
Then I'm gonna change my answer. I would say about 100% of the time, I'm not gonna DM back unless you're my friend and I know you in person and you're like, hey, you know, and I already know you.
Yeah.
I'll probably
Yep.
respond. But if
Yeah.
you're a random, I'm not gonna respond to you.
So-
I think you're
Yeah.
weird.
So you're
That's
telling me
100% facts.
blue
You're
check,
weird.
Nice.
handsome guy,
Uh-huh.
good lifestyle.
Keep going.
But here's the thing: is even back to the last
Are you
conversation.
responding though? Is the
There's
question?
not a lot of blue checks sliding in girls' DMs.
Yeah.
Average
It's
girls'
usually
DMs.
creepy dudes
I was
sending you
gonna
dick
say,
pics,
it's
like
usually
stalking
men.
you,
Yes.
asking you for clips of your
We're saying,
hair.
we're saying if they do you respond? Keep it 1,000. Don't cap.
I mean, of course, if there's a blue check, yeah, of course, I'm not gonna
Okay,
disagree
that's
with
fair,
that. Yeah,
that's
you're
fair.
gonna respond. You're gonna
There
be
you go,
interested
Destiny.
in what you have. Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
So we're
Wait,
saying
I don't disagree with
But
that. If
even then-
there's like some famous people showing up
Yeah.
in somebody's DMs, they're going to respond. I'm just saying it happens way less than you guys seem
it
to
does.
think.
Yeah, it really does.
I just have
But
a
it's the
question
option
though.
that changes their whole standards. That's why all
We didn't
girls-
just say changes the
Yeah.
whole status. We just said she would respond.
No, she would
Okay.
respond, but her getting that message from a blue check changes her standard of the guy she's going to settle down with.
But
in
doesn't-
real life too.
Yes.
So if
Real-
so, right now, if there's like a B-list Hollywood celeb listening right now, he could fuck all of these women's lives up by just sending them all a DM saying,
No.
"Hey,
No,
what's
no.
up?"
Not
And
from the
all of
lives
them
up,
would
but
be-
change their standards.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So
We
I-
gotta look at you.
I've seen you watch those
okay,
videos,
that's
Destiny.
I really think
we gotta
dating
look at the
matters.
totality of the circumstances, bro. So they make their own money. Feminism is here. I deserve the best. I'm special. I get DMs from all these weird creepo guys. Oh, look, they all want me. Then I get a message from a B-list celeb. Then I get a message from an athlete. Then I get a message from here. I go to the gym. Guys are staring at me. Then I'm at the sandwich shop. This guy tries to awkwardly give me attention. Oh, another guy gave me a gift. Another guy walked in and gave me flowers just for me being here. All of this does a lot to a woman's psyche as to what she thinks she deserves and where she stands from a sexual marketplace standpoint. Like this all working in tandem
again,
changes a girl's
yeah.
mindset of where she
I
stands.
agree, but you did the same thing again. You guys always do. You're talking about the sexual marketplace. If you want
Yes.
to talk about getting laid,
It's
I
the
agree
same
with you.
marketplace as
But
love.
like a normal dude
No,
that
it's
is like really
not.
charismatic, that can make a girl laugh, make
It's
somebody
the
feel
same
special, listen to pay
marketplace.
attention to
You're gonna bring
conversations,
her
all
in.
this shit. You can absolutely pull at your guns. Even if she's talked to and fucked 5 different fucking
But here's
celebrities,
the thing:
you can
that
fucking do it.
guy now has to work harder
Yeah.
to get that girl because she thinks I'm here. I've attracted this caliber of guy. I need you to entertain me, motherfucker.
Guys have always had to work hard.
Not that- not this
Every
hard.
fucking Hollywood
That's not
movie, the
true.
guy has to try hard to get the
But-
girl. It has always been like that
Very.
throughout all of human history.
Hollywood's not
But-
real life.
but
all
Also,
of it.
but I think the
Hollywood,
re-
you can't say Hollywood's not real life. The stories it tells obviously resonates with people. People don't just watch it like,
Oh,
"Oh,
that's
yeah,
it,
yeah,
that's
Hollywood
it.
love stories, they're stalking
Hold
a
on,
girl
hold on,
behind
hold
a
on.
tree.
Statistically speaking, Destiny, I hate to say it, but male virginity has gone up significantly.
Yeah.
Men not being sexless has gone up significantly. So
That has nothing to do with what I'm saying. Again,
That's
you're
a lot to
conflating
do.
sex
What do
and
you-
relationships.
That's the
Yes,
same
We're
man.
thing.
talking. It's
It's
not the
not
same thing. They're
No, no, no.
totally
For
different.
women, it
No,
is.
hold on. I got
It's-
you, Destiny.
Yeah.
Let's say, right, the guy pulls it off, and that's his girl. Can he maintain
Let's say
her?
the guy what?
Let's say the guy, the average guy, is charismatic, charming, whatever, gets the girl. Can he maintain her for a long period of time after having that experience with a top guy? Can he maintain her?
Yeah,
Well, the
100%.
stats don't show that. The marriage stats show that, hey, they get married as the average couple, but over time, oh, you know what? Brad was really lit. He had a great lifestyle. I'm tired of Jerry. And then they leave. It
No,
happens all the
that's
time.
Like
not true.
her, she had
That's
2
not
kids
true.
with her dream guy. She
And
left
it's
for
gone.
not even a real
That's
reason.
not. That's for.
I
First of all,
didn't
we can't
leave.
comment completely on her
Who
situation.
said I
But even
left?
that,
You
the
did.
stats aren't
I
true.
did not
Okay.
leave.
I've
How is that
seen.
true?
Hold on, wait.
I said it was a
I've seen
mutual
those exact
thing.
numbers that you're talking about.
Okay.
And what you guys say is this is the talking point you say. Women, the women that stay in relationships the longest are the ones that have 0 partners, and then it goes up for divorce rates for 1 partner. And that's true. But if you keep watching that graph, it goes up for 2, but then it drops after 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it takes it until they get to 8 partners until the divorce rate.
Six is when it goes up significantly.
Yeah.
But I think 8 is when it gets past the 2 mark, is when it gets past that point. So it's not just that having more keeps it, having more partners makes it so you're more likely to break up because you've had more partners. It could be the case that if you've only had like 0 or 1 or 2 partners, maybe you just got really fucking lucky and you found like the one early on. You found the perfect fucking girl or guy when you're 18 or 19, and now you're contributing to that stat of like, oh, I've only had like 0 or 1 partner and now I'm together forever. Or it could be people that are like, I'm fucking super religious. I've had 1 partner. I don't really want to fuck more because I'm a horrible fucking slut, whatever, antichrist if I do
Haram.
shit. And they end up staying in relationships longer than they don't like because they're religiously feel pressure to.
Haram.
Like, there's a
if
lot
it's
of
a
other things that go
choice?
into that as well. But you guys never explain why is it that a woman who's had 3 sexual partners is more likely to stay in a relationship than one with 2, or one with 4 is more likely than one with 3, or one with 5 is more likely. You don't explain that because you only talk about that graph from 0 to 2. I've seen the family said you're talking about.
It's more along the lines of 0 to 6.
0 to 6.
Yeah, well, when you graph it like that, but graphing it like that that's a disingenuous statistical analysis.
But here's the thing.
Because a graph that goes like this can't have a curve, an R squared drawn like this. It's not fair.
Because it becomes substantial and becomes significant after 6. That's why I refer to it that way. Because yes, I do. You're right. It does deviate to a degree, but it's not that significant. It's after 6 that it starts to drop off precipitously.
Sure, but I think that a more honest analysis when you're looking at data like that is people with 0 to 2 partners are probably people that are incredibly selective, maybe people with really traditional religious backgrounds, and therefore probably are more likely to stay in relationships for the long term, even if they're not happy. When you get to the 6, 7 plus, these are probably people that like to fuck around a lot, that don't really care about like the sanctity of marriage or any of that shit, so they're probably more likely to divorce if they get married. I think that that's a more fair analysis than saying once a girl's had 6 dicks in her, she's never going to stay with the same fucking guy. I think that's more fair.
Here's the thing. Everything comes back to the totality of the circumstances. So like what I said before, as far as like girls wanting, having a lot of options or whatever, and then not settling or wanting a guy that's way above them, it comes back to, that's why I said not only dating apps, not only Instagram, not only social media, but also feminism coming in and girls making their own money has played a significant role in that. Women being educated also has played a role in that.
100%.
So I look at it from a holistic standpoint. Like, yes, what you're saying before is like 1 or 2, yes, more than likely she's going to be religious. I agree, because when a girl's more religious, she has these certain buffers in place to keep her from being super promiscuous, because these are things that used to be in place before. But what I am saying is that for most women, those things aren't necessarily a buffer anymore. Shame, that's pretty much eliminated. A girl can have sex with as many people as she wants. Hell, we got rap songs nowadays that glorify it. And a lot of people just aren't religious. So it's like, whatever.
Sure.
Okay, you had a point. I'm sorry it took so long to get back to you. Do you remember the point?
Yeah, because so we're talking about blue checks and oh, it's easier for a girl to fuck a guy with a blue check and this and this and that. Half of these people out here that are blue check verified are just bullshitted blue check verified. You have a kid and like a 20-year-old what is it, prospect athlete that has a fucking blue check. What makes you think I'm gonna respond back to his DM because he's a blue check? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
It's a reference point. We're just saying the guy that actually has a blue check, for
And
example,
with followers,
with
like a-
followers,
Not
you're
like a
gonna respond to
5,000
him.
followers.
I want to make this very clear to all the ladies at the table. I am not saying that you are going to have sex with a guy with a blue check. I'm not saying you're going to have sex with a millionaire.
Yeah,
I'm not
you
saying you're going to have sex with a football star at your college campus. What I am saying is that these caliber of men will contact you. They will give you attention. And since you get contact and attention and potentially even resources from that caliber guy, and then you also got the simp that's walking up to you, giving you flowers for nothing more than you exist. Then you got a couple other guys on dating apps saying, I'll take you out, I'll fly you here, whatever. I'm not saying you actually enact on all the opportunities given to you. What I am saying is that those opportunities change how you view the world, and more importantly, how you view men. Oh, these guys are suckers. Now, some girls say, fuck that, I'm not taking that opportunity. I don't care. I want a guy, it is what it is. Some girls are, are able to distinguish, this guy's a loser, I want a guy that's actually good for me. But a lot of girls don't. A lot of girls use that to their advantage, and they take that male thirst and use it to their advantage. OnlyFans, being a stripper, maybe getting guys to pay them for sex, etc. All I am saying, right, is that we live in a simp economy, and a good amount of women are taking advantage of it. And not only that, in taking advantage of it, they tend to have a higher perceived status of where they stand, because they got a lot of guys that are hitting them up, which quite frankly, you go back 50, 70 years ago, a girl would be lucky to get 2 guys that come up to her that are worthy. Now she might get 200 guys that come up to her that are worthy.
Do you think, here's a question.
Sure.
So the broad argument is that men get into women's DMs and it fucks our expectations up for how they view men around them.
It's
right?
not just Instagram though.
Sure.
That's
It's
why
whatever,
I went
Instagram,
around
dating apps,
everything,
whatever the fuck, everything,
yeah,
right?
everything.
Do you think that women have dealt with a similar pressure for a long time because of beauty standards set in media and because of pornographic standards? Do you think that they feel standards to compete against those women on TV or?
There's been that way even before porn and before TV.
You know what? That's a fantastic point you brought up, Destiny. They have, but guess what? It's self-imposed. 100% self-imposed.
100%.
I think that when we
no
talk
guy
about
ever goes up to a
as
girl and
the-
says,
as
your
the-
nails don't match, bitch. Ugly.
Actually,
No, but guys
a
do.
lot of guys do.
okay.
A lot of
Yo,
guys.
she's high.
A lot of guys
She's
notice
high.
that shit
Guys
more than
don't pay
girls.
Not even
attention,
that.
man.
Wouldn't you guys, wouldn't your standards change if you
Like,
were
she's
getting a
actually higher
DM from
than
a girl
some.
with a blue check? Like, if you fuck Megan Fox, aren't you going to raise your
Yeah.
standards a little
You know
bit?
what?
Wow.
Here's you know what's funny?
Very good point.
I did an experiment.
Yeah.
Let's go through it into a dream world.
I'm glad you said that.
I'm really glad you said that.
Yeah.
I did an experiment. I was doing a test for a dating app that I was releasing with a friend. To do the test, I was comparing using Tinder, right, with a boost versus not using a boost, and using a new account versus an older account. Okay, as you guys know, about 80% of Tinder users are men. It's very difficult for guys to get matches, etc. So you have to play around with the algorithm and find the best way to do it. So I was doing testing. One phone was a brand new account. The other phone, I ran a boost. Turned all my social media off. I had multiple Tinder accounts, and I swiped right and see what happened, right? 24 hours, turn the phones on, see a whole bunch of notifications. At that point, I was like, oh, this is lit. This is awesome. I'm the fucking man. And I had to kind of like fucking snap out of it. Like it hit me right there. Yo, imagine if I got this attention every day, all the time, for nothing more than the fact that I exist. I had to almost snap myself out of reality from all that validation from the opposite gender. Hot, like literally like 100 matches, different girls, hot. I was like, whoa, this is fucking awesome. Now for guys, they rarely experience that. They get that dopamine hit. So when it hit me, it was a foreign feeling. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? But then I realized if I got this all the time, I would be a piece of shit. I would not have a need to self-improve. I would not feel like I need to understand the other gender. I would not feel like I have to be attractive for the other gender. I would think, I'm on a date with you. Impress me, bitch. Dance. Turn Tory Lanez to this motherfucker. Dance, bitch. No.
Oh God, too soon.
Yeah, no. Well, we know he didn't do a good
Free
job
Tory.
of finding him guilty.
Yeah.
Free Tory. But all jokes aside, I would not do anything to impress the opposite gender. Kind of like girls nowadays. They show up on a date. They're not interesting.
Astrology.
They ask dumb shit. They're not, they don't really bring a lot of critical thinking. No offense to you ladies. I'm not saying y'all, but I'm saying women in general. They don't feel the need to self-improve. It's like, you impress me, asshole. So all I'm saying is that a lot of girls fall into the category of how I felt for that 10 minutes, where I felt like I was on top of the world. Now imagine getting that a year, 2 years, 3 years. Since the time you're 15 years old and you're going through puberty and guys are hitting you up and it's compounding with the internet, it would make you have a certain type of mindset where people need to improve, people need to impress me. That's all I'm saying, is that a lot of girls have this compounding effect of getting a lot of attention, feeling like they're special, etc. And then they come on this podcast and I tell them, all right, well, you want a high status guy that has money, whatever, you got to share them with other girls. Oh my God, what do you mean? I'm special. I deserve a multimillionaire that's going to be faithful to only me. That's not how the world works. So that's all.
Yo, bro, what do you mean that's not how the world works? Holy shit, bro. He's like they are insisting on the fact that if you are a high status male, then what is natural and biological to you is to have multiple women, and you're totally allowed to do that. It's like a spoken rule. It's like it's a rule of life. No, you fucking peasant. It's fucking not. This is an excuse you are using to attract the attention of young men. That's it. That's it. That's where the fucking it ends. It's like, no, it's not. You don't have that right. If you want that in your life, then you can have that.
You got something?
You can have an
Megan
agreement.
Fox?
No, I agree with that, but I also think it's just, you know,
Why?
it brings up the egoism, but
Why
I
do
also
you
think
agree
it
with
goes
that?
back to what we've been talking about this whole time, that the
Mhm.
average girl does not get this much attention. Like, I think Miami girls do,
Yeah.
I think LA girls do.
respectfully
Wait,
disagree.
wait.
I don't know.
let's-
I don't
really
think
Can
so.
we
I
pause
don't
on
think
that?
I don't think they get that much
Like,
attention.
born and fucking raised in Miami, half of you people literally from the table aren't from here. So
Thank you.
being a Miami girl, and like
Doesn't-
literally being born and raised in this shit for 22
We're from
years,
Homestead, but okay.
Homestead, Miami, I drive up
It's the
30
same
minutes.
shit.
So
It's
you're
the
saying
same
you're not getting
shit.
that
Yeah,
much
well, hold on, I
Miami-Dade
will say-
County, it's the same shit.
It's careful.
Are
My
you
parents
saying
live in
you're not
Homestead. I
getting
spent a
that
lot of
much
time in
attention?
Homestead, okay? There's fucking horses walking around. That's not the same
Be
thing as
fucking
Brickland.
for real. There's
I am-
not horses walking around
My
except
parents
in the
live in
Redlands.
Homestead and their neighbors have horses.
In the Redlands.
I
In
don't
the
know where the
Redlands.
fuck. I just know the address is Homestead on the 30 whatever fucking Southwest Street. It's in Homestead, and there are horses.
Okay,
I'm
great.
just saying it's
So-
different than like Miami. Even when you say Miami, it's a big fucking city, right? If you go really far west, that's a totally different life. Or if you go to like a fucking Hialeah, that's a totally different
Okay,
world.
but
Yeah,
be
sorry.
fucking for real. Most of the shit you do to come up in most of the shit, even to work, there's not a job in Homestead. I'm working in Miami. So let's be fucking for real. Half of the bitches that are in Miami are not from Miami. A typical bitch from Miami does not have a million blue check niggas walking in her shit. You know why? Because you bitches are doing it for us.
Well, that's my point, though. The average girl does not have that many.
That's
blue
what
checks.
I'm
It
trying to
doesn't
agree
matter
with
where
you,
you're
yes.
from.
That's-
Absolutely, it doesn't even matter what city you're from.
But
If you,
but the
No, but
average
it does
girl,
though, because you brought up Miami.
yeah, you're
So
right.
the average
Well,
girl
bigger
from
cities
Miami
is always going to hire it up, right?
ladies,
No,
ladies,
it's
ladies,
not.
y'all are missing a
There's a
point.
bigger
A
population.
woman of average looks, regardless of where she's located geographically, gets way more attention than the average man gets
I don't agree.
anywhere else.
That's true, but this has always been true.
Yeah.
Yes, but now it's scaled to
Multiplied.
another
Yeah,
level. It's
because of social
multiplied to another degree, bro. Like
Here's a thing I'll float out there. I think that as men, okay, and I can speak from experience now because I have fucking blue hair, okay? Never in my
Okay.
life.
All
Okay?
right.
I get random compliments from people on my looks. I've never had that happen before. I get like, oh my God, nice hair. It's like, oh, cool, that's interesting, cool, right?
SJW.
So as a guy, when we hear comments like that, I think it feels really good for us because it's not as expected.
yeah, men rarely get compliments.
For women that are fucking past the age of 13, 14, Like random guys like shouting at you from a truck or catcalling you,
Of course.
or saying like I don't think it's blowing your ego up
They
as
become
much as
desensitized to it.
yeah, because it's at some
agree.
point it's like or even it comes off as like creepy or annoying.
I agree.
So,
Very
yeah.
creepy.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they don't like,
Extremely.
cancel out a lot of guys that talk to them, but what I am saying is that when you get attention for that long, you don't value it anymore. When you don't value it anymore,
Yeah.
it still props you up in a
Why
certain
does
light
this
where I
not
think
work,
I'm the
man?
shit.
Sure. So as a guy, you have to try harder than just like saying a girl's hair or dress looks nice to actually get her to pay attention to you.
Well, she has to like it.
Yo, this is so annoying. Why is OBS doing this shit, man? Yo, I've got to figure this shit out. I've got to figure it out. I'll leave it playing, but I need to
For
figure it
that to
out.
make sense, because anybody says I heard, but like,
Yeah.
if she likes you, okay, I heard it from the guy I actually like.
Sure.
And,
sure,
and
I
the
agree
other thing
with that.
too, from me doing my research, I'll just be very bluntly honest about this. Most women just don't like most guys at all.
It's
like
true.
they just don't like men that much. They
At current time. Okay, let's try it like this. Let's see what happens. Browser. Okay. URL. Okay.
much. They really
That's
don't.
true, but then the
That's
question
true.
is why?
They really.
That's true.
I think that guys are really fucking lazy in general when it comes to
That's
appealing
part
to
of it.
sex,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah,
but
yeah.
I like saying that guys are
part of it.
lazy because that's something you can work on. There's stuff that you can do there. But
Yeah.
I think when we over fixate on like the hypergamy and the Evo Psych and like all the other crazy shit, it feels like kind of fucking hopeless. Like,
But-
oh, women are naturally drawn towards all the 6-figure earners. Women only want the 6'6" NBA chads. Like, fuck me.
But
I'm
it's
fucked.
true, Destiny.
I don't think that's true.
It is true.
I
because
don't
you-
think that's true.
And that part you cannot control because that part is external. We're just saying
Women will want NBA players the way that men want to fuck Megan Fox, but they'll settle for like, oh, this is like a cool chick.
But
she's
there's a
banging.
difference. The male virginity rate has tripled.
Yeah,
Destiny.
but why? But is it why?
Because
Because of dating apps?
No. Well, that's a
Every
component,
reason.
but again, it's a multivariate analysis.
Yeah.
But the reason why it's tripled is because
everything.
women are not willing to put up with the same caliber of man that they did 50 years ago. A
Sure, because you
woman-
need to do more than just earn a paycheck.
exactly.
So build yourself.
And I agree.
That's what this
I
podcast
agree
is
with
about.
you.
But-
I agree.
But that's your point as well. Megan Fox ain't fucking none of us. But guess what? That girl that's the average girl can fuck an NBA player tomorrow. But we can't. So it's totally different.
I don't know about that.
She can get a DM tomorrow and get flown out. You never even know. Actually,
I
got-
don't know.
I got
don't know,
friends in the
'cause
industry,
and
and
I've
they-
never gotten a DM like that. So
of
I
course,
don't know.
of course you wouldn't. I got friends,
Yeah, of
I
course
got
I
friends
wouldn't.
in the industry, right? That DM girls every single day to fly out. Now, mind you, is it college girls? Some are, but some aren't. I'm just saying they have an option to. As guys, I think Megan Fox, yo, what's up? Come to Miami. Not even seen. So it's like, bro, it's totally different. That's all I'm saying.
Megan
Fair.
Fox, hit me up.
Okay, we got
What's
some
up,
chats
baby?
here.
You ain't got no chance, bro. Vince McMahon. No chance.
Hey,
Uh,
dump
Fresh,
that
can you hit
Satan, this white guy.
Fresh-
I don't know his name.
First is BBC. First thing, oh God.
Lord
First things first, big homie. No more crazy women calling our name on Instagram Live. Yeah, bro, that's wild. I know you're basically a guy with the D game, but
What
damn
the
it, man. Make sure the chicks are actually mentally stable before we get them to BBC. Okay.
L Fresh is BBC.
Count 2 times. Question for ladies. Have you ever had a dream that you could,
Have you ever had dreams that that you
that was you earlier, by the way. Andre says, question: as men are problem solvers, if in the future we could make a woman that could satisfy our needs, what would the bimbos out there? What would they bring to value a man's life? Trying to be better every day. Thanks, bro. They ain't bring much, man. Some of them. Jose says, question for Destiny: does the RP ideology unknowingly
Perpetuate.
perpetuate promiscuity and anti-traditional values in women, or do you believe that women's dating choices dictate these behaviors? FNF crowd believes the latter. What do you believe?
I mean, there's like a really complicated feedback loop between like what we do in society and what our entertainment tells us to do, right? Where society influences the entertainment influences society. I think that in general, I don't like it when men advocate for settling down with a woman with a low body count while telling you to fuck as much as you can through your early mid-20s. I think that's hypocritical. I don't think you can create a world that is actively serving like a counter purpose to what you're looking for later in life, because you're not training for those relationships, and because you're, I guess, destroying all of the women that you fuck your way through as not being good enough for the men in your audience that you would say should be looking for low body count women in the future.
But can you also agree that if I have no experience and I meet a woman, how would I ever be able to be a good fit for her? I have no experience.
That's true for everybody. Well, It
No.
depends again on what your standards are. I
Women
guess.
don't want to fuck a virgin male.
Yeah.
There are plenty of women that would get off with
For
fucking a
real.
guy.
No, no.
Dude,
What are you
that's like a
talking about?
kink. That's a
It
kink
might
for
be-
someone.
it
It
might
just
be
depends on what you're looking
It
Because
might
for.
be
they
an
show
ego
what they
boost. They
like.
don't want to
But
be with
long
that
term, they
person.
want a man that knows what he's doing.
Experience.
They don't want an
It
inexperienced man.
depends on what you mean by knows what they're doing, though.
They
Right?
want a
Like you
leader.
guys on here are acting like a Christian woman that's a virgin. At
So
24
generalized,
wants a guy
man.
that's
This is
fucked
where
his way
they
through
always
500
win
chicks
the
when he's
fucking-
32.
It doesn't matter.
It absolutely does.
Nah.
Bro.
You think it does because you've never talked to a woman like that in your life. You're
What?
not going to find a religious
have.
woman, a
What?
conservative woman at 22 years old, 23 years old, that has never fucked a guy before, that wants to go and be in a relationship with a fuckboy who's got like a 3-digit body count. In
Actually,
general,
you'd
that's
be
not going to be
surprised.
the case.
Pastor daughters are the worst. By the way, ladies in here, have you ever asked a guy's body count, or do you even care?
They don't care.
Yes,
Um,
I've asked
Yeah.
How many times?
like damn near every guy I've talked to. Really, to be
Okay,
honest.
you might be a little bit different.
Did you break up with him though after you found the body count?
No, like I mean, talk to as in like before we even started.
But did it disqualify him?
Hell yes. You
What
know
was the body
what?
count that disqualified him? What was the number?
52.
You thought what was it too much for you?
Yes. Why the fuck have you stuck your dick in 52 different pussies?
Because it feels good.
Oh, but that's fucking disgusting. Because if I
Well,
was
then why would your pussy have 52 different dicks in it? Because it feels good.
exactly, there we go. Thank you. Because I
That's a
can't do
lot.
that.
Do you ask guys their body count when you meet them?
It's been a while since I've been interested in another man, so it's been a while since I've asked. So no.
Okay. Do you?
Well, I didn't
No,
think
to be
52
honest,
was
I
a
feel like
lot,
it's none of my
man.
business, and if
It's
I do
365
ask,
days
I'll
a
probably
year.
get all in my head about it. So I'm
Safety.
just gonna avoid all that.
Okay, that's fair. Do you ask guys? Oh, what's your body count?
Every time.
Thank
Yeah?
you.
But
Thank you.
just for fun, like I really wouldn't like.
It doesn't disqualify
It doesn't
them.
disqualify
Oh,
them at
okay.
all. I just kind
I
of want
like
to
you,
know
yeah.
about your, experience and.
Women
Okay.
are willfully ignorant. They like to live in a little bit of delusion. They don't really fully want to know the truth because they don't want to be. They don't want to
I
have
hate
that
these
anxiety or that stress. They'd rather
generalizations,
just
bro.
Take you for how you
Drive
are.
And I
me
think that comes with
crazy.
detail. Like I don't want to know I don't want to know the girls, but
Facts.
the number is the number, whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
don't show me pictures of who
Nah.
you know what I
Okay,
mean. That's
Men
too
don't
much.
live in delusion.
Okay.
When a guy's asking
Yeah.
a hot 26-year-old girl, how many guys have you been with? And she's like, I sucked one dick and I fucked one dude. And he's like, oh,
Oh, I can interact with I can interact with it from here. Oh, that's sick. Okay, cool.
That's a lie.
yeah,
We
yeah.
know you're
guys
lying.
don't live. Guys don't live in delusion.
What
about you?
Are you being ironic? What does that mean?
I think everybody deludes themselves to some extent. The
How do men
idea
delude
that,
themselves?
and in so many different ways. What
Name
do you mean?
one.
I just talked to you. When a girl is hot, a guy will fuck the girl. A girl is a body count.
Okay, but we know that she's lying when she says her body count. There's no delusion.
Okay, and if you told a girl that your body count was 2, she'd probably know you're lying too.
Right, but
I think the better
I'm not gonna lie
stance
to her
here
about that.
is that
I'm not
both
gonna
genders
lie
are
to you,
delusional.
that's how you-
However, women don't really face the consequences of their delusion to the same extent that men do. When a man is delusional, right, about
Reality hits
women
him.
and reality, well, I could get a chick even though I'm a fat loser. Well, guess what? Reality's gonna smack you in the face. A girl, however, can be annoying,
Hey,
a bitch,
come on
fat,
now.
whatever,
Come
and
on
some guy
now.
will
Never
still
stop me,
probably take
bro.
her
I don't
seriously
know.
and date her.
It super depends on the circumstance. A guy can be delusional, like this girl's changed, and then she's like an annoying bitch, and you have to break up with her. And a girl can be delusional, like I think this guy's changed, and then she fucking gets her throat cut by some crazy fucking dude.
Oh my
Like,
God, you always
it
gotta go to the
totally
extremes,
depends.
bro.
Yeah,
What
you
are
want
you
to go to
talking
extremes. I'm
about?
just saying. that,
Everybody's a
like,
night stalker.
everybody can have like their delusions or whatever. Like fuck the life. It just depends.
My point is this: women can be more delusional than men, and not deal with the same consequences. That's what I'm trying to say.
Depending on the type of women, sure. But it feels like this is always the issue I have. It feels like you guys want those types of women. You
What?
want women with low responsibilities whose only attractive features are they cook and they're young. So of course they're going to be delusional. Of course they have no accountability. You don't give them any accountability. You treat them like children.
Well, the thing is that most women are delusional, though. Most modern day women are fairly
can't
delusional. If
handle
I'm
the
going to be
truth,
honest,
Destiny.
I don't
They
know,
are
man.
fairly
I dude, like
delusional.
the things online blowing up for guys, like fucking trade this NFT, this crypto thing, buy this fucking digital monkey, and you'll be rich. I feel like guys fall for a lot of this shit online too. I think there's a lot of delusion there.
I mean, that's true, but I'm talking about within the confinements of intersexual dynamics, not get
If we
rich
narrow
quick
the
scheme.
market narrow enough, I'm sure we can find areas where guys are less delusional than women. Sure, but
yeah, but I'm talking about strictly from dealing with the opposite gender. Men are a little bit more pragmatic and understand. Okay, if I don't rise to a certain level, I'm not going to
What
get
did I
a girl.
say?
Whereas women are like, I'm going to get a guy no matter what. I mean, women walk around and say,
Yes, sir.
take me how I am. Versus
Basically-
guys kind of understand if I'm a fat pot-smoking loser, no girl's going to have sex with me more than likely. And
Bro, shut
that is
your
shown through
mouth. You
stats
have
and them
no
not
idea what
getting
you're
laid, not
talking
them not getting
about.
dates. Men deal with the consequences of their poor decisions.
Again, like if you're a fat fucking loser and you just smoke weed, you're not gonna get any bitches. Yo, you literally just described me at the age of 18. And I was fucking when I was 18. So yeah, you and your fucking generalizations, you can take them and shove them up your ass because, yeah, it's like they put it out there like, and it's just like they're baiting people into like me into getting like tilted and showing an emotion and reacting to it. And that's how they generate fucking views, okay? So when they just generalize everything, men are like this, women are like this, people are like, well, I know this guy, I was not like that, she's not like that, and then they're like, yeah, but on a, so you can't win against them unless they will say something that's generalized and it's not factually true and somebody calls them out on it. It's just insane, bro. It's insane.
Women don't when it comes to intersexual dynamics. That's what I mean.
Okay, we go on.
Okay. fair enough.
Okay. What about
I
you?
like having Destiny on the panel.
We're just dissing.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to go back for
Let's
the
get back and
We
forth.
obviously disagree, but yeah,
Just
yeah,
argue
that's
to
fine.
argue, man.
Do you guys your body count?
No.
Do you guys your body count?
Do I ask guys?
The body count.
No,
when you meet them.
I don't. A couple of times I did with my first couple of relationships. and
Closer
they-
to the mic.
Oh, sorry. My first couple of relationships, I did ask like the body count, and
Yes.
they would not answer.
Really?
And
Look
I
at this one.
assumed
The one
it
with the
was, like,
green
30
fucking
something.
is
I don't know where that
high
number
off her
came
tits.
from.
And this
Is
one,
30 too high for you?
she's been doing
It
some
ended up
crack or
being,
some
like,
shit.
over
Like, I
100.
fucking know she's
Like,
on
'cause
some
I was in a
serious
relationship, and
dope.
I found out in the end, and so it's like,
Would
yeah.
you, let me ask a better. Let me ask another question to ladies. Would you, if a guy had a body
These
count that was,
motherfuckers
let's
bring her on the
say,
show.
too high for you, would you stop dating?
Insane, bro.
I'll go around. Yeah, for you, would you stop dating him if his number was too high for
I
you?
wouldn't say I would stop dating him, but I would be concerned that his body count is so high. Is he going to cheat on me and
Okay.
et cetera, et cetera?
But you wouldn't
yeah.
leave him. What about you?
Yo,
Not
why?
really. No.
No.
These
Would you leave a man for having a high body count? You said before you asked, but it doesn't
No.
matter. What about you? Would you leave a guy for having a high body count? Okay.
Nah, I think it's fun and experience.
Okay. What about you?
Yes.
You would leave a man for having a high body count.
Yes.
Can you tell me why?
Because I wouldn't want to
grow
have
up.
my hole
This nigga, man.
be inserted by something that's been.
Say that
inserted
again.
in
You would
different
what?
holes. I wouldn't want my hole to be inserted by something that's been inserted.
Okay. Let's
inserting in
assume. Let's
different
assume you had a
holes.
clean STD test, no diseases. Would you still care?
Yeah,
You still would. Okay.
of course I would.
Why?
Because I'm crazy and.
Okay, there you go.
Wait,
like no
what?
guy's gonna be like,
Why would you justify that as I'm crazy? That's not a good thing.
Imagine if I would have
I am not in reality. Okay, I just.
Okay, hold on. You're comparing four full-time content creators to random women. Of course, you're gonna be more well-spoken. It's a fucking job. No fucking shit.
It's about,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
about what you believe in, Destiny. The belief is, I'm crazy.
Listen, it's because I would want that person to only desire me.
Yo,
in
she's
their
so
life, and
high,
I know
bro.
that's not a
Oh my
reality. That's
God.
not in
Delusion, yeah.
Okay. I
There
guess
you
I'm
go, Destiny.
delusional. I'm delusional.
Yep.
I'm delusional.
Yeah.
All right.
Why would you give
Woman enough to
Sneeko
admit it.
that?
Fair enough. What about? Well, you said earlier that you disqualified your guy. Was there anything? Was it strictly the body count, or was it something else? Maybe he smelled weird, and then he said that, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back, or was it like he was attractive in all regards? He was your dream man, and then he said, "Yo, I fucked 52 bitches," and you're like, "Nah, I'm good."
It was, yeah, actually that. Like
So he was your dream guy, and
he wasn't a dream guy. He was like a pretty good candidate for like people that I found attractive.
Yeah.
And then I asked him, that's not dream at all.
He was good enough.
Good fuck enough.
He was good enough.
And at the end of the day, I asked him like how many bitches have you slept with? He said 52.
Okay.
Guess what? We went to go to the
STI clinic. Yep.
Yeah, there. We went there. It came back clean, but at the end of the day, I'm just not comfortable with you sleeping with that many people.
Why?
Like,
Okay.
what do you
Bruh.
mean?
Why?
Why?
What if he What's the wasn't reason?
with you
That's
at
my
the
comfort.
time?
What?
What if he wasn't with you? Like, what if
It
what if
doesn't
was
matter.
before
I
you?
just don't feel comfortable with
I'm
you.
asking why
Yeah,
you
you
don't.
ha-
Why
yeah.
does that make you uncomfortable?
Okay.
Because
you
if
can
for
ask that.
even sanitary wise, at the end of
But
the
he's
day,
clean.
it doesn't matter. Some of you guys
Yeah,
don't even
some-
like to shave your pubic hair.
Okay,
No, no. She's giving wrong points here.
It has nothing to do with the pubic hair. So he's clean. You're talking about.
Yeah. Sneeko's got it right now. No, like he's like, yeah, why? It's fair enough to ask that question. It's like, why? And she says sanitation. Nope, doesn't apply. He's clean. You've been to the doctor. Totally fucking clean. All good. Let's go. Good to go. Next, any other reason? Because basically, if you're saying that it's not okay with you and you cannot give it a justification for why, you can also just say, yo, that ain't my thing. I don't like it. And why? Well, just because I don't like it. Why? Just because I don't like it. Like, you just keep going on with that. Like, you don't have to give an answer, but this woman is giving all the wrong answers.
Sanitation.
Just say, yo, I don't like the idea of a guy sleeping with 52 girls.
So what's the reason it makes you uncomfortable?
Yeah, he says.
My mental psyche. It just makes me feel disgusted.
Okay, there we go.
No, but why does it make you feel disgusted? You're just using different words.
Because
Those are
you're willing
synonyms.
to be with that many people.
Every guy is. Every guy wants to be with that many.
You're willing to share yourself so much and spread yourself thin.
You see how you're equating
throughout.
female logic to male logic? We
I
don't give a
guess.
fuck. I already told you I
You
would fuck
guys
the
don't
onion,
give a
bitch. I would
fuck, but
fuck in
we
Africa
give
as
a
a country
fuck.
girl. Like, we don't
I
give
give
a
a
fuck to that level.
fuck.
Yeah, I know, but you're not me. You're not a man.
But
We
I
have
give a
different
fuck.
standards.
If your dick's gonna go inside me, I hope that it's not
Ooh.
been spread
Ooh.
out
you good,
there
though.
because
But
I
what's your
want it
reason it
just
makes
for
you feel disgusted?
me.
And then I want to hear mine. I just
It's
last
your
time.
personal
I want you to like
preference, but
peel back the
you
layer.
want to explain why. But I mean, it's a personal preference.
No, I know the reason why.
Yeah.
The guy's value wasn't high enough to command that. That's the reason why.
That's not it.
You quite literally said a second ago he was good enough.
Yeah.
Which good enough means he just barely met your requirements and you were going to give him a chance.
No,
If that
okay.
dude was tall, a millionaire, charming smile, in shape, etc., and he said, "Yeah, I had sex with
That
52
had nothing
chicks,"
to do with it.
you
No.
would probably think twice before
No,
leaving him.
I wouldn't actually, because at the end of the day, that's my personal preference. I personally choose to not be with a male who has spread himself across almost the goddamn city, state, or America.
50 is not
Okay.
a city. Okay.
You might be different.
I don't
but
care, like what it is.
Uh-huh.
At the end of the day, that's just how I personally prefer my body and how I want to use my
No.
body.
Okay, so
There you go.
Here's what's funny about this.
Should have
this whole
said that from the
topic here, right?
start.
Most girls that we see, even here in Miami, in America, in the West, they don't ask guys their body count. What happens is they can tell how they move, how they act. Okay, this guy's game, he has riz. All right, he fucks bitches. But for my own sanity and anxiety, I don't know how much guys he fucked because that's gonna fuck up my head. So they don't ever ask. They just say, you know what? He's experienced. I'm gonna go with the flow. But deep down, they're like, okay, cool. He has a lot of bodies, but they don't care. So you might say that, but like most girls don't even ask
Willfully
the body
ignorant.
count. Yeah,
No.
they don't want to know.
No, but what Myron was saying was he was good enough when she met him, and then she took him to the clinic. If he had, if he was her dream guy, and then if she would have asked him, she would have, said okay.
So here's another point to add to Myra's point as well. So that being said, if you're gonna say, okay, you care about a body count, if he was successful, good looking, and actually a guy of value, you'd be like,
You see, this
know what?
right now is they're
I don't care. I'm
making
not gonna
assumptions
ask the question,
about
'cause
her,
you know what?
and she's
I got a guy right
letting
now.
it
He's in my
happen.
vicinity. He's in my environment. Cool, I got him. Why even ask the question? I don't want to lose him.
It's like they're making assumptions for her. Like the guy who just came on the TV now, this guy here. Let me see. Can you see this? Okay, yeah, you can. This guy who just came on the TV and just said that. She's doesn't want confrontation. She doesn't like conflict. You can see it. She's getting anxious. She's getting nervous. Every time somebody questions her logic, her how you make her decision making, basically. And she's not confronting him because basically he just made a whole assumption about her that if she had, she was willing to go the extra mile, have that confrontation with him, stand up for herself, then there would be no way for her to look like an idiot. But she did, where he basically said if the guy was good enough for her, because Myron said it and so did the other guy, and she shut them down, but then the other guy comes on the TV and she doesn't respond to that. And so now she hasn't responded. The viewers are looking at that and they're going, oh, so it just took a bit of convincing to get you to realize it because, you're a woman, you can't think, basically.
I still wouldn't. That's just me. Personally,
Personally, you
it's
might
just
not
me.
like that,
yeah.
but most girls,
You're not giving any
That's
reason why. I'm just
Because I'm a germaphobe. Like I really don't like touching.
You're going in circles. He's clean.
I don't give a damn. That's my personal
makes no sense.
preference.
Yeah,
That
but you
is not
understand
my
that
preference.
you understand that you look like an idiot right now. Do you understand that you're giving yourself a bad rep? Because he's basically dismissing your whole argument, which is I'm a germaphobe. When something's clean, why are you scared of it? If it's clean, the whole idea of being a germaphobe, you're scared of things that are dirty. Well, he's just said to you, you've been to the doctor, they verified it, he's clean. this and that. And then she goes on to say about pubic hair, which probably has fuck all to do with it because she's just rambling, searching the ether for fucking answers right here.
2 other
Like,
bitches.
I don't care. At
He's
the end of
had
the
the
day-
juices of 52
At
other
the end of the
bitches on
day,
him.
just how you feel as though a woman is fucking 52 men is not acceptable. That's exactly how I feel for the men.
Okay.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, no reason though.
You know what's very interesting? Just for you two in particular, since you guys have a point of contention with this, are you guys aware of the fact that if you meet a guy that's
Yo,
charismatic, charming,
just because she can't give a reason doesn't mean she doesn't have a reason. She might not be able to verbalize it. She might not even completely understand it herself. She just doesn't like it. She has the ick, what they call it. It's like, but Sneako's like just pointing out, and good for him. If you're on a panel like this and your mission, your goal is to dismiss your your opposition, he's doing a fucking good job of it because he's just like, yeah, you have no reason to. So in other words, you're a woman, you have no idea what you want or what you don't want. And then it just coincides with all of his other theories. It's
charming, attractive.
I see
He's
right
gonna
through this.
She's
shit.
gonna have sex with a lot of girls, right?
I mean,
Do you really think that you are that special that he's only gonna wait and have sex with you?
I didn't
When a
say
guy
I
has a
was that
superpower
special.
and the ability to attract a lot of women, he's damn sure gonna fucking use it. And it always is amazing to me that girls think that
it goes the same for women.
this guy
then.
bust.
No.
Absolutely no, it does
No,
not.
it really don't.
Because
disgusting.
ladies, a man has ladies, let's be very honest here. Men have to build themselves up to be sexually attractive to women. Women do not. So a guy that's charming, charismatic, in shape, etc., had to bust his ass to get to that point. You, however, did not bust your ass to get to a certain point to get the same attention. Now, if a girl goes to the gym or whatever, that's fantastic. She should go to the gym, but she doesn't necessarily have to be able to attract the other mate. The guy does. So when a man learns these skills, he's not going to sit there and have sex with one girl a lot of the time. Maybe some guys will, but if he learns these skill set, which is
I'm on
learned,
the latter end, so I relate to that latter end. Like I go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. I take care
That's
of
great.
myself.
But you didn't have to, and you would still get guys. Is the point?
Yeah, because
Yes.
you look good, and he gonna have to catch his drift. Like,
Don't lie to her.
So, like, all I'm trying to say is that girls play the dating game on easy mode. Men play the dating game on hard
Careful,
mode.
you said it again. Not the dating game, the fuck game. It's
Yes.
different. They're
Good
different. They're totally
Destiny.
different.
Good,
They're
good,
totally
good.
different.
We were talking about fucking.
Yes, they
If you just
fucking
said a girl
are.
doesn't have to try for shit to blah 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 to fuck
If I
somebody.
wanted to fuck
yes,
anybody, I
but
could,
to date somebody,
but I don't
it's
want
way
to.
She's still gonna get opportunities.
You have
You're
to
not-
understand that them not making that distinction and connecting everything makes it look a lot worse than what it already is. Because the dating life, the fuck buddies, one night stands, all of this shit does not connect with relationships and future building and family, building a family and all of that, the good stuff that you want to aim for, at some point in your life. I would definitely recommend. It doesn't connect because think of it like this: when you're approaching somebody, like let's just say for a second now, your goal, it all comes down to what you want in life. Because so if you want a lot of bitches, hence word bitches, what you're looking for are not the good girls or the girl that you can trust or the girl that's going to be loyal to you or support you or take care of you. No, what you want is a one night stand, and the girl you're going to go after is a girl who either one doesn't respect herself, two doesn't respect you, because the more she doesn't respect herself, the easier it is to accomplish your mission, or the thing that you're trying to achieve, which is sex. So the more self-conscious she is, the less she respects herself, the less time it's going to take for you to get her in bed, considering that you have the boxes that she wants you to tick. So tall, successful, blah, 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 whatever the fuck. If you're lacking in one of them, then probably it'd be better if you are better in something else that she likes. And so, yeah, that's your goal. The goal is to have sex, okay? Once sex is over, we all know, and personally as a man, and if you haven't experienced this yourself, post-nut syndrome, I think it's called, where I don't know if it's like connected with wanking or whatnot, but no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you have sex, you finish, and now you just contemplating your decisions in life. That has happened to me in the past when I was younger, and I was out dating my ass, having sex left, right, and center. Yes, you get that totally every single time. I was absolutely like, there were nights where I was absolutely disgusted after having sex, not with myself, with them. And I was just like, get the fuck out of here. If this was my place or if I went to their place, I was like putting my pants on and getting the fuck out of there. Bear in mind, this is like more than about 10 years ago. So it's quite a fucking hell. Holy shit. 10 years ago. Yeah. So your goal is to have sex, but in the dating sphere, I don't know what you guys call dating, man. It's so confusing. It's like you want to have a relationship. You're looking for a long-term relationship. That's what you want, which will inevitably lead to a marriage, a family, things that you are going to spend the rest of your life with, hopefully. Then you're not looking for a bitch. You're looking for a wife. You're looking for a long-term relationship, okay? And so what you're looking for now does not connect with the one night stands. But Myron here, who keeps on, and he knows exactly what he's doing by trying to connect those two ideals, because he's trying to say that women are just one of those things, that women are bitches, basically. And if they are not bitches, then they are wives, which is not always the case. Like, you're not just one or the other, but they're trying to make this distinction. And even in the case that is successfully done, which I'm trying to think of now, which I've said that now and it kind of makes sense. But yeah, fine. Okay, you can be a bitch, but then you're not wife material. You understand? Those are two separate things. Like, for me, wife material is not associated with how much dick you've taken. That's to your disadvantage as far as I'm concerned, and according to them as well. So I agree with them on that. That's not something I look for. I don't go to a girl and say, oh, I hope you have a high body count. That's a plus for me. What fucking man does that? You'd be surprised. And so the dating sphere, the relationship, long-term relationship, looking for somebody to settle down with, and somebody you want to fuck, those are two goals that you're looking. Like, with trying to have sex, you're basically going to do all you can as fast as you can to get them into bed, to have sex with them, so you can accomplish what you're trying to do. When you want to have a long-term relationship, a marriage, what you're trying to do is see who they are, what kind of morals do they have, what do they like, what do they support in life, you know, where is their mentality at, what is their background, what is their family like. Like, those are things that are going to help you understand whether the woman is right for you or not. I'm talking from the man's perspective. Totally two different things. And so the conversation goes a lot different. One goes this way, the other one goes that way. Totally different thing. And thank God Destiny has a brain to call him out on this, because if you can be able to connect those two things, it's totally fucked up.
If you're a busted ass fucking girl, you're not getting an opportunity for a 6-figure guy.
Yeah, you can.
This is the biggest cap I've ever heard.
We were just talking about all the simps out there and how a lot of men are lazy. Are you kidding me?
Are 6-figure men on average simps compared to the guys that are broke and busted at home?
Yes.
A lot of them are.
Most guys are simps.
100%.
Okay.
Most guys are simps.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. It's a numbers game. If you want to talk about numbers, how many guys are 6-figure men? What are the percentages?
A low percentage, but we're just saying.
What is it, like 3% of earners are making over 100K? That's not enough to date every single busted broken girl. You have options when you're a high value man. You're not dating, getting into a relationship. You can't. You're contradicting yourself like crazy.
No,
right?
but most men are simps regardless of income level.
Yeah.
So
being a high value man doesn't necessarily mean you're not a simp.
So you think a guy earning 100+K is going to be looking to support a whole bunch of busted ass women?
Well, actually, it's a sex.
Come on, where's the stop the cap button? Where's my button here?
Guys be simping.
No shot.
I'll tell you this: it's the sex is good, and she's gonna come around whenever he wants to. He might pay a bill or two. You never know.
Would you pay a bill or two?
No.
That's called prostitution. Okay, that's not dating.
No, I'm just saying that, dude. This is Miami, especially like.
I'm trying to understand, what are they gaining from pushing that kind of narrative, because they're so focused on it. What are they trying to gain? What is their motive behind this? Why do they keep pushing this narrative? What is going on behind it? Because I know they have a fucking agenda. If anybody has a fucking agenda that's fresh and fit, 100% they know exactly what the fuck they're doing. You can tell by the two high and drunk fucking women on the podcast who shouldn't be there, but they're there just in case for content, okay? They knew that they were drunk. They knew that they were high. Anyway, they brought them onto the show to take the piss out of them, create content, and for some low-life, fucking insecure little men in the world to take the fucking piss out of them. And for them to have a laugh, to be fucking bullies, basically, which is just fucking disgusting as far as I'm concerned. Nothing fucking manly about it. Okay, so what's their fucking agenda? Why are they pushing this narrative? What do they get out of this? High-value men are looking to take care of a bunch of low-value women. Just average, basic fucking bitches, basically. What is Fresh and Fit gaining out of this by pushing that narrative? Because they are really insistent on it. This is not the first time I've heard them make this claim. They're really, really insistent on it. Like as soon as somebody mentions it, they are on it. Why? First, my first instinct is: are there a lot of high-valued men watching their podcast? Because if they are, why are they so insistent on men fucking multiple women? Because that sounds appealing. Who does that appeal to? Pretty much every man. There are people who are young and virgins, basically, and they want to have women. And the idea of having multiple women sounds even better. There are men who are married watching this. We're just theorizing here that there are multiple different categories of men watching this podcast or this channel, whatever. You have the man who's married and he's married to some fucking boring ass Karen. And the idea of having multiple women and he's so superior as being a man that he deserves that. That sounds very attractive to him. You have like men from all walks of life. Why does this resonate a lot with a lot of men? Because it does connect with that. Because they push two things, which is like be successful, fuck a lot of women. Those are the two main points that Fresh and Fit focuses on. Be successful, fuck a lot of women. But why though? It sounds appealing, doesn't it? It's like taboo in the world we live in. It's controversial. I'm trying to understand. I want to narrow it down. I want to understand why they keep pushing this fucking narrative. Because it doesn't make sense. 0 sense. You're some kind of high value man. You know, you sacrifice most of your life to get to the position where you are, but yet you want to go and throw away all of that success because guess what? They are bottom of the barrel bitches that are ready to just throw away their dignity, their pride for money and fame and fucking clout and riches and whatever. Those are these kinds of women that they're talking about. So they're simps. And their podcast is about how not to be a simp. Ooh, okay. Okay, I think I'm on it. Okay, so their goal is a lot of men that watch their podcasts are simps. They're attracted to their channel because they are simps and they are looking for a way out. And because they're high value men, they have money. And guess what Fresh and Fit likes? Money. And they're being told that they are simps. And that they're going for low bottom of the barrel. And they're like, oh shit, that's me. But in general, that's not really them. They're just relating to it because they don't feel like they are accomplishing as much as they could be because they already have status. They already have success, financially speaking. And what they're lacking is their personal life. So basically fucking a lot of women. Which is this idea that they keep pushing. That could be one of them. Fair enough.
That happens all the time here. However, I would just say this: the average guy, he can't, but he might want to.
You don't live.
I mean, Destiny, most guys are simps, bro.
Yeah,
I agree, but why are most guys simps? It's supply and demand, right? Most guys are simps because they don't have a huge supply of pussy, right? But once you earn more money, once you've got more
that is
clout,
not true.
like,
There's
okay,
niggas that
I
might-
can't speak for how pathetic maybe some of the people in your guys'
Yeah,
orbit
it's
are,
like
but if you've got
Destiny's
50
out of his
million
fucking
fucking girls on
mind.
Instagram, you're not thirsting over every single fucking woman, right? When I was like 19 years old, turning down a
Yes.
woman would be really hard, right? At 34, I've got a
Yes.
million fucking random girls that hit me up on every platform. It's easy to say no.
But remember,
so,
you're using your own reference point. We're talking about in general.
no,
most
hold on.
guys.
I'm not using.
Bro,
I'm using a high
I
value.
hate it that they keep pushing this. It drives me fucking mental because I've been there. I've been in this situation where you're surrounded by women. You know what the fuck you're doing. You know how to attract women. You got game, like serious fucking game. Like there were nights where I was just like, yo, I just want to chill the fuck out. I don't want to fuck. I want nothing to do with these hoes, these bitches, whatever that you want to call them. I want nothing to do with them. I just want to chill the fuck out, smoke a spliff, and go to fucking bed after a night's work, obviously. And what they're trying to push is this narrative that somehow you're this high valued man and you've worked so hard to get there. You've got determination, focus, all of these good attributes. And somehow you don't have opportunities when it comes to women. You've got a nice fucking car. Like, you just go in Tinder, you update your profile. What the fuck are they talking about? Makes zero sense. It's like they are pushing for this type of life. Wait a minute. You have to understand why I'm going fucking mental here with these arguments that they make. So they are pushing this narrative. They're trying to push forward this idea for you guys to get you pumping, get you going, getting your adrenaline going, your testosterone. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking be successful. I'm gonna fuck a lot of bitches and all of that shit. Okay, cool. That's fine. Good. Whatever. Do you. But then at the same time, they're telling you that just because you become successful, it doesn't mean you're gonna have a lot of women. Even though they put forward so many arguments about how being successful is a determining factor of having a lot of women. Do you guys see the contradiction exactly there? Like just there. So why are you doing that? They're just like this fucking podcast that is just there to make you feel actually shit about yourself. And not in a good way, like, you know, you're lazy and somebody calls you out on it and they say, yo, the reason you're not successful is not because it's not because of this system or the way the world has been. No, it's because of you are a lazy motherfucker. You have had so many opportunities. You need to get off your ass and do something about it if you want to be successful. Like, that's good. That's constructive criticism. What these guys are doing here is saying to you, you're a brokey. Okay, the whole idea comes from fucking Andrew Tate. Okay, so you're a brokey. You're worth nothing. Women don't want you because you're not successful. You got to go out there and you've got to earn big. And once you earn big, you're going to have opportunities left, right, and center, especially when it comes to women. And then they have the audacity to come and put an argument forward that somehow there are men out there, like he literally just said it here. Watch, listen it again.
Simping.
No shot.
I'll tell you this: if the sex is good and she's gonna come around whenever he wants to, he might do a pay a bill or two. You never know.
Would you
pay a bill or two?
No.
That's called prostitution. Okay, that's not dating.
No, I'm just saying that, dude. This is in Miami, especially. Like that happens all the time here. However, I would just say this: the average guy, he can't, but he might want to.
You don't live here.
I mean,
so
Destiny,
you
most
wouldn't
guys are
know.
simps, bro.
Yeah.
I agree, but
most guys
why
are
are most guys simps? It's supply and demand,
Uh,
right? Most guys are simps because they don't have a huge supply of pussy, right? But once you earn more money, once you've got more
that is
clout,
not true.
like
What is not true about that? Like, you're driving me fucking mental, bro. Like, come on, there's being red pill and being what the fuck do you call it? I don't fucking know. Like, controversial or whatever. And then there's just being a fucking brain dead idiot. What are you talking about, bro? You're literally going against your own ideals just to be controversial. Like, you driving me fucking up the wall, mate. You're doing a real number on me right now. I want to hear that again.
Are simps regardless of income level.
Yeah.
But So
being a high value man.
People are simps regardless of income value. Whatever. Fine. I don't believe that. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was true. Well, do I not believe that? Actually, I do believe that. Yeah, in the world we live in, yeah, I could say, and these guys are all from America, so I'm pretty sure they're talking about America. Most men are simps. Yep, sure, agreed. That's the kind of world you're living in right now, because otherwise, if you're not a simp, then you're a rapist, horrible fucking part of the patriarchy, misogynistic piece of shit. Yeah, we all know that. Okay, fine. Okay, so let's hear this again.
It doesn't necessarily mean you're not a
But being
simp.
an
as well.
average
You think
girl
a guy,
doesn't
earning
check
100 plus
niggas.
K is going to be looking to support a whole bunch of busted ass women?
Well, actually, it's a
Come on, where's the stop the count button? Where's my button here? No shot.
I feel
I'll
you,
tell you this.
Destiny.
It's the sex is good, and she's gonna come around whenever he wants to. He might pay a bill or two. You never know.
Would you
pay a bill or two?
No.
That's called prostitution. Okay, that's not dating.
No, I'm just saying that, dude. This is in Miami, especially like that happens all the time here. However, I would just say this: the average guy, he can't, but he might want to.
Fine.
You don't live
I
here,
mean,
so
Destiny,
you
most
wouldn't
guys are
know.
simps, bro.
Yeah.
I agree, but why are most guys simps? It's supply and demand, right? Most guys are simps. 'Cause they
Wait,
don't have...
wait. No, I have to slow this down. Playback speed. Slow the fuck down. Okay, let's go.
a huge supply of pussy, right? But once you earn more money, once you've got more clout,
not true.
like,
As
okay,
big as the
I
man-
can't speak for how pathetic maybe some of the people.
Yeah, it's like driving him mental. The same reason for me. It's like, why are you contradicting yourself? No, that's not true. Are you stupid, bro? Like, why are you doing that? It's like you put forward this whole idea that being successful, striving to do better with yourself, and somehow, and then you also make all the calculations. You go after women time and time again about how they're always looking for status and calculating men and always going for men, which I don't disagree with. That is part of biology. I don't disagree with that whatsoever. But then you come in with the fucking contradiction and blast me out of the fucking water because I can't. I'm lost, bro. I'm absolutely fucking lost. It's like, what? I don't think so. It's like Destiny's answer is like, I can't speak for the pathetic men, which are like, you've got clout, you've got success. You literally don't need to do anything else. You can literally just play on that. Go on fucking, because they're not talking about getting high valued women, which are women who respect themselves, in my opinion, women who take care of themselves, who are willing to, you know, go the extra mile, that you're going to be out there earning the money and everything. They're going to be taking care of things at home. They want to have a family. They want to respect you. But then you've got a part to play as far as I'm concerned when it comes to loyalty, because you've made a vow to be loyal. And exactly the contradiction of that is sleeping around. So these guys can go fuck themselves on that point. But what the fuck, bro? It's like you're not looking for high valued women, because that's not what you guys are promoting. You guys are promoting have a lot of slutty whores that are basically after your money and you get to sleep around. And then have one wife. Okay, yeah, let's forget about that right now because I'm going to blow my lid on that. Is that what? Like how do people not see through this shit? I don't understand it. It's like they're so insistent on this idea of becoming successful. I keep repeating myself because I'm just like, where is the mistake? Where am I making a mistake here? What am I getting wrong? What am I not seeing here? Because how can you be this stupid? It's like you're literally going against your ideals. Why? It's just stupid. Because Destiny's argument, how can you have clout, be successful, and still not manage to pull? What the fuck, bro? I was a bummed out loser kid with some basic ass fucking salary. Okay, I have charisma. I know how to talk to women, especially like when it was about having sex. I'm very flirtatious in that regard. Like when I was single. I wasn't exactly. I never had the best body. Most guys always had better bodies than me. They always took care of themselves. I never had the best body. I had an average body, normal body. Good looks, yeah, I'm handsome, but that can only take you so far. I saw guys who were just like literally like, as the poster suggests, like Chad, fucking tall motherfucker, chiseled fucking chin and all of that shit, looking like Adonis. Like, well, I don't look bad myself, but yeah, and they couldn't pull for the life of them. But they weren't successful. They weren't, they didn't have clout. Like, those are two completely different things. Like, in reality, like when you meet somebody, like your appearance, how you behave, your body language, these things mean a lot. But if you first met somebody online and you've had a conversation, they've already done their research on you, you've got your profile there, they see where you work, they can pretty much estimate your value as a woman looking at a man. So they're already prepared to, what are they getting? Therefore, what am I willing to give? See how that works. I mean, Fresh and Fit are very big proponents of this as well, and I don't really disagree with that. Because if I can get a bum, then I'm willing to give, well, less than zero. If I'm getting from the woman's perspective, if I'm getting a fucking CEO of a company who's going to be taking care of me for the rest of my life, if I can manage to stay in his, good books, then I'm willing to bend over backwards. Like, that's kind of the idea from these women. It's not like they value relationships, they value men as individuals and as the leader of the home and all of this stuff. Yo, like,
And
stop
your
the
guys'
cap.
orbit are, but if you've got 50 million fucking girls on your Instagram, you're not thirsting over every single fucking woman,
Yes.
right? When I was like 19 years old, turning down a woman would be really hard, right?
Yes.
At 34, I've got a million fucking random girls that hit me up on every platform. It's easy to say
Yes.
no.
But remember,
So,
you're using your own reference point. We're talking about in general.
no,
most
hold on.
guys.
I'm not using. I'm
No,
using a high value
motherfucker.
reference point, and we're talking about high
Oh,
value men.
yes.
A high value man can probably pull decently, unless
No.
he's like a schizoid or something.
Okay.
Right? High value man is not going to simp the same way
Okay.
a guy that smokes weed all day and sits in his parents' basement's going to.
Yes.
That's not true.
I'm-
A lot of broke guys will like
That's
run out on the girl and cheat
true.
on the girl all the time. Sipping is more of a mentality. It has nothing to
Yeah,
do with
Bro,
earning.
wait, hold,
It's
you're
mentality.
You guys are all over the place. Broke men. I thought you guys were saying women cheat more than men. You telling me broke guys have the
When did I
opportunity?
say women cheat more than men?
Oh, so we don't believe that? You think it's equal? Let me get it on the record. You think men and women cheat on each other equally? Because I thought we quote here 50 million times the marriage stats of women leave men all the time and blah blah
That's not
blah.
about
Yo,
cheating.
he's
You're making up points that I haven't said.
Okay, so then tell me clearly. You think men and women cheat the same amount?
No, men want to cheat more.
You just said men.
Yo, Destiny, bro. I'm telling you, the more I watch this guy, like, this guy has a real fucking brain on his shoulders. Holy fuck, bro. Thank God. He's literally saying what I just literally just spent half an hour to explain within like a couple of seconds. Like, yo, bro, easy game. Let's go. And now he's calling out Sneeko. He's like, oh, let me get this on record. Because, yeah, they're big proponents of women cheat more than men. And now he's going to have to contradict himself or basically say that I'm wrong. Let's see how he finds his way out of this one. Because Destiny doesn't usually let you off that easily.
You said earlier that broke men cheat on their women.
No, there's a lot of bums out there that don't give a fuck about the girl, and that's why the girl loves them because he's not giving her a lot of attention.
That's not what you said earlier. You said a lot of broke men cheat on their women. Do you
Okay.
think broke men don't have the opportunity to cheat? They don't have a lot of
Okay,
women to cheat with.
maybe not cheat,
They
but like
can.
treat him like shit and just be a bum in general.
Sure,
not give
that's
the girl a lot
different
of
than have the
attention.
opportunity to cheat, though. That's a different thing. That's what I'm saying. Simping is usually a matter of supply and demand.
Can we go back to our point real
Yes.
quick?
Yeah, so he's wrong. Like, he shut up. Okay, he knocked that out of the park. But he should have fucking called out whatever his fucking name is, Fresh. Fucking weirdos. Holy shit, bro.
All right, got it.
Yeah,
My bad.
yeah. I know we're going
tell
on
me
another
shot
thing
when you
about
want. I
cheating.
He
So
didn't like
okay,
that.
so
You getting
you would
called
not
out.
want to basically have sex with a guy. You would disqualify him for his body count. Fair enough. Then you would as well.
Totally changed the conversation. Like, he is smart, Myron is. Totally changed the
about you? Would you
conversation. Yo,
disqualify
we're
a guy
looking
on his body
bad here, guys.
Nah, personally,
You
I
wouldn't?
want him to have as much as possible because I want a man with experience.
Nice.
I got a question.
I think that was the most real answer given.
1,000. Look at some more chats here.
Yeah, more
Wait,
chats?
can I real
Yeah,
quick?
go
Can
ahead.
I ask another question on
Sure.
that vein? Okay,
right.
because wait, you had something you want to say? Go.
You know, she just said she would just fuck it. Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
so I agree that most women tend not to care about male body count, right?
Yep.
Because when people see a woman with a high body count, they think lack of control.
Yep.
When you see a man with a high body count, you think this guy's in control, right?
Yep.
He's capable of like achieving a
Yep.
lot, right?
Agreed.
Now, however, I think body count matters to women, but I think it comes up in a different way. So here's a question I could be wrong, right? But let's say that you have a guy and you start dating, you start talking to him, and you find out that he has like a lot of women friends, and then after you start dating, you find out that he's fucked a lot of them. Are you okay with him like texting, DMing, like still being like
Ooh.
close
Fuck
friends with these
no.
women,
All
or
right,
Fuck
going
no.
here around that?
Good
Yeah.
question. We'll
'Cause I
go
think
around the
that's how
table on
body
that
count for men comes
Okay,
up more.
so just so we have it, so I make sure I have it right, ladies, please. The question is, are you okay with a guy you find out has a high body count? He has a lot of female friends. He had sex with a
A
female
lot of
friend?
his female friends. Is he? Are you okay with him still like talking to them like
Okay.
in DMs and
Start
shit?
here. What are your thoughts?
L nips.
I'm not. Nah, I mean, I don't know. I guess. I mean, if he's not like on that bullshit and like talking to them in some type of way, I don't know. I don't know. I probably wouldn't. Knowing me, I probably wouldn't be okay with it.
Okay.
Okay.
What about you?
No, not okay with it.
Okay.
It's a no for me, dog.
One for me, dog.
Randy Jackson.
What are we
But
talking
did you say
about
before
here?
that you would be okay with your guy exercising options?
That is the reason why I'm single.
Because you make no sense.
No, I
Yo, she
cannot
makes
handle it.
totally sense.
I cannot handle it. That's why I'm single.
Yo, the girl is telling you up front, like, don't take the piss out of that, man. Like,
So you're
I-
not
it's totally reasonable to not handle you sharing your fucking partner. What are we? What are you? Ah,
okay with the man exercising options.
Listen, I would, but I can't handle it.
What?
I would. Like, maybe if I was a little bit more mature, I
Yo,
would
Destiny
be
be
able
like,
to
men are just as
be okay with
delusional as
it.
women.
But I am not mature enough to handle it. I know that I'm not mature enough to handle it right now. So,
So
no.
yo,
by
yo,
definition,
yo,
you
being
can't accept it.
yo, being mature does not mean you can deal with your partner cheating on you. Whoever is trying to put this into your mind is fucking delusional. They have some agenda behind it. They are earning something because of it. They are profiting from it. Okay? Stop this. You are totally fucking normal because you don't like your partner cheating on you. That is not the specific thing or a special circumstance, or naturally women should be okay with their men cheating as long as he has high value in society. No, should not be okay with it. Do not let somebody you are with who has, especially if they've made a fucking vow legitimately to specifically not cheat on you. It's like, what are we talking
I
about
can't
here?
accept
It's
it.
like,
Maybe in the future I would.
Right
as a mature.
right now.
I
No,
wouldn't.
the
I wouldn't.
present, the
I
present
wouldn't.
time
Okay.
I
at
wouldn't. I wouldn't.
12:43 in the morning.
Okay.
Bruh.
I would not want him talking to girls that he's been fucking with, is what I'm saying. If
She
it
looks
was
like an
once or
absolute idiot.
twice,
Like, nobody's taking
okay,
her
and they
serious.
have no ties to him,
Like, she's
I'll be okay with letting it go.
like, if you go back and you watch their other podcasts, she's always there, this one. Because she's an absolute fucking idiot, an imbecile, and doesn't know how to speak, and she makes other women look like absolute idiots. Like,
But if it's like an everyday thing, like you're gonna see this person
Yes or
constantly,
no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or
The
no?
answer is
she
no.
literally goes on a fucking podcast to debate while she's drunk or high as fucking hell. Like, oh,
Guys, no.
She will not accept.
yeah, it's like,
if it's
I'm
like
looking
a
at that.
threesome here and there, like I
Bro.
would,
Don't
yes.
answer.
No, we got.
But
we
if
got it.
it's like a constant everyday thing, no.
Bruh,
Okay.
and then guys like, yo, this is why so many
This is
guys struggle
confusing,
with
bro.
girls, bro.
This is
Yeah.
confusing.
Yeah, you
It's
see what they're doing now.
confusing. I don't
You
know
see
if
what
y'all
they're doing.
understand. I know I'm
You
confusing.
You see what they're doing? Two girls just answered, totally straightforward, honest, easy, digestible, not drunk, not high. Then the third one comes, drunk and high, or either one or the other, can't find her words, stumbles across every fucking, thing that she's trying to, and all of that shit. And the result, two good, one bad, all women are fucking, yeah, you don't understand why women aren't understandable. And, shut your fucking mouth.
I know make her a case study on this, but I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, that's exactly you.
Flip-flopping her answers based on how she feels at the moment that we ask her the question.
Yo, your poor baby.
And this is what I mean when I say that women a lot of the times
She's high.
have to make their answers based on how they feel when a particular question is asked.
Look
or
at
how
her,
they feel
bro.
At the moment of the environment
Are
around
we
them.
kidding
Right?
ourselves
So
here?
I think there's something to be said for how confidently men will answer questions, though, when they don't know what they're talking about, right? So she's obviously like waffling back and forth, but you'll have a guy like really confidently say some shit like, "I'd never date a woman who's 24 with a body count of 50."
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, he might say that, but if the right girl walks through that door and she's a fucking 9 or 10, like the guy will suck it up and do it 100%.
Yeah.
So even though a guy might give
Changes
a
his
confident
mind.
answer, right? Given the right circumstance, he'll probably be willing to bend or change too, I think.
I'm on
You always use the
circumstances
outlying
too.
example, though.
But no,
I-
okay,
I'm
that's a
on
fair point. But the
circumstances.
point is that he'll make that decision and say what's on his mind at that moment.
At that time, sure.
He's
yeah.
not gonna flip flop and I don't know how I feel about this, and then like let their feelings go ahead 100%.
Some
like dictate
men will.
how they're going to answer a
But
question.
I'm pretty
Again, with a
concrete on the fact
generalized.
that
She's not sure.
I
sorry.
no. Listen,
And you really
I-
said men are just
okay,
as
look.
delusional.
I think the only
You
concrete
made
here is that
point
you're not
earlier.
concrete.
honestly,
They are.
Waffle House.
if
They are.
he was gonna have a
Oh my
constant
God.
relationship with this woman, no. If it's like a once in a time thing where we have threesomes or
W.
like, you know, I would be okay with that. But
Okay,
if it's not like if it's a
Subjective.
constant thing,
It's
hell
very
no.
subjective.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Because
got it.
I want to have
We heard you, Waffle
my
House.
spot.
All right.
But to men, it's like,
Waffle
okay,
House,
is this okay? Is that not
No,
okay?
no,
Because
Yeah.
she's
I understand them.
answers.
Waffle House and Blue
That's what
Waffle.
he said.
Yeah.
She's high, bro. She's high.
Why would you say that?
He's Blue Waffle, not you. Relax.
I was about to say,
I mean, you got two kids and shit. I don't know.
Okay.
ew.
Oh shit.
Definitely not.
All right. What
sure.
about you?
Show me
Alright,
later.
To be honest, if you fuck that bitch, if you did
Keep
that
the
bitch,
mic close to you, please. Push it like it's. No, just bring it closer to you.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Oh, penis.
If it's your ex, if you're fucking her, she's got to kick rocks, so you're gonna kick rocks. I'm not putting up with that shit. I'm not gonna put myself through that shit. I will
good.
stress myself out.
Okay. So he can't talk to his ex with you.
I'm sure they're all gonna say no though.
Nah,
Okay.
But
Fair enough. What about you?
fuck that.
I mean, I wouldn't like it, but
Okay, she's
you know, humans are unique and there's different situations.
look. To be fair, like, everybody has a right to run the relationship how they want to. There's a way that I believe that it should be done and not, but it doesn't mean that everybody has to run their lives like that. Everybody has their own way they want things to go, and as long as there's an agreement between the two adults, then all is well and good as far as I'm concerned. Sure, in a long term, on a societal level, I wouldn't recommend we do things however the fuck we want. There should be a majority, and then the minority do whatever the fuck they want, whatever. Yeah, because for the best of society. But naturally, that should happen. If it doesn't, well, then we're all going to shit, and we can all deal with that. But this woman, she does OnlyFans. She basically shows her body to the whole fucking world every single day, and she won't like it if her man is talking with other women. For me, as long as you're doing like anything to do with like prostitution or something, for that relationship, if you want to have a relationship, that relationship needs to remain open because you are naturally open. And any man who is, with a woman who does OnlyFans, as far as I'm concerned, you should really look into having an open relationship because in the long term, you are going to suffer talking to the man because it's usually women who are doing OnlyFans. So, yeah, you are going to suffer. Whether you don't realize it now, maybe it takes you 5, 10, 20 years, you are going to amount a level of resentment inside of you that's going to build up eventually, and that's not healthy. Everybody's different. I can't talk about everybody, but that is what's going to happen the majority of the time. So I definitely would recommend looking into an open relationship, and herself making the decision to do an OnlyFans, she should definitely be for an open relationship. Because as far as I'm concerned, there's not ever going to be a healthy relationship, meaning you get married, you have kids, those kids grow up without any fucking side effects or psychological issues because their mom's like showing their body to the rest of the world and all of this stuff. And let's not even talk about the fucking cuck husband or whatever. Like, you're not talking about that. Like, don't even go there with me. That's not healthy. Okay, so don't aim for that. Is basically what I'm saying. Settle for an open relationship. Like, be with a man who you give him the right to have relations with other women, to let him keep his options open so he feels okay with himself. He's meeting other women at the same time. You're doing your thing, obviously. It might not be sex, but I don't fucking know, man. Like, I don't see any positives doing
there
that
has
shit.
to be respect towards me, you know what
Having a normal relationship that leads to marriage, children, and doing OnlyFans. I don't see positives for that. Like, you don't want to be doing that. Open relationship, leave kids out of it. That's where I'm. That's on what level I'm on. Kids should, especially when it comes to kids. Especially when it comes to kids. That shit's not acceptable.
about it. Like, some guy could be best friends with a girl for lifelong, and you know, whatever, they did their thing one time, and
Just one time.
whatever, he introduces me to her, we become friends. Like, there's situations where you can be okay with it.
For real.
Okay.
And yeah, of course, you're not gonna like it as a female, but if there's a common respect, and you know, things
Then
happen.
if you
We're all
don't,
human beings.
if you don't like it, then why do you put up with it? Yo, bro, like, there's like, I don't like the fact that, you know, your feet smell before we go to bed, and for the rest of the day they don't smell. Like, there's that kind of compromises, like the compromise. I don't like that you put your fork on the left side of the table instead of the right. Like, there's those kinds of problems, and then there's, yeah, I don't like the fact that you fuck other women. Boundaries, borders. Don't be tempting with those things. Like,
I'm gonna say that answer. I would be careful because women will say that. But as soon as you guys get into a
Yes.
fight and he's talking to that woman,
Oh, yeah.
and he's like, "Man, I got into a fight with Tony today." Oof, that shit goes fucking
Well, that's
crazy.
where
but-
that's where the respect comes
Yeah.
in. Like, you know, our
respect your
arguments should be private. You
Men
shouldn't be
don't know
running
how
to
to-
a girl that
For
you
sure,
fucked.
for sure.
You know,
boundary.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say? What?
That men don't know how to keep that boundary.
What boundary in particular?
Like, for example, like how she said that he had a best friend. They fucked
why the fuck would he? You literally are okay with it.
once or twice, and then
What's the difference between once or twice? There's no fucking difference. You're letting him sleep
they got into an
around.
argument, and he's over here talking to her about
Oh
the
no, no,
situation
it's not that
that
men
they
don't know how
had.
to keep it. They just don't give a fuck about.
They don't give a
They
fuck.
don't give a
Exactly,
fuck
they don't
about
give a
it.
Why
fuck
would
about
they?
They
it.
know they're doing something wrong. That's why when
agree
you
to
look
that.
at your guy,
I agree
and
to
every
that.
single time it's like some fucking NASA like GPS repositions his phone every time you look over. It's because he knows he's doing something dumb.
Of course,
Like, every
of
time.
course.
Yeah.
Well, that's
oh
where the
yeah.
respect comes
Oh
in.
yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Yo,
What-
Sneeko, you okay?
I'm good.
He's giving pointers to the women out there, man. He's telling them the
Look
secret.
like you're in love, man.
I know, man.
Yes, sir.
Are you bricked up?
Don't worry about it, man. Why are you putting me on the spot? It's L Fresh, L Wingman. Bad Wingman.
Okay.
Fresh is LBC.
What about you?
I'm sorry. Can you?
No, I
restate
get it.
the
We
question?
like a lot of talking. So the question was basically,
Let's say you're dating a guy, and then you
He has
find out
female
that he's
friends.
got not just a high body count, but all of the female friends around him, or a lot of them. He's fucked them. Would you be okay with him like still being friends and DMing them and stuff like that as you guys are dating?
No. That's sad. Because like
That's grits.
No, you
The
don't need
relationship
to
is dead, the girls
justify
are
it. No. Yo, what is being asked of you is not normal or reasonable. Like, you have to understand. Like, you don't need to justify that. It's already justified. It's not okay.
like no, like really though, like if I'm with you, like you okay with me being cool with my nigga friends and I'm fucking my niggas like my nigga friends, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
They
be for
count.
real. Like, you
real.
okay with me fucking my homeboys, and you still like I'm still cool with my homeboys, and you want me to still be cool with you fucking your homegirls, and y'all cool and tight. Like, no, that's that.
All right, let me
There
ask
is-
you a question though.
Yo,
Would you let's say you're with a guy that you like, you,
yo,
you
to
love and you
be
admire,
fair,
right?
to
And you
be
respect
fair,
him.
bro.
Would you?
To be fair, she's not high. She's not drunk. Like, I mean, look at her. She's totally fucking sober. The girl has an IQ of a fucking flip flop. Yo, what? What was the answer? Yo, I've got to watch that back. Wait, what? Yo, what was that answer, bro? Holy shit.
Like how she said that he had a best friend. They fucked once or twice, and then they got into an argument, and he's over here talking to her about the
It's not
situation
that
that
men
they
don't know how to
had.
keep it. They just don't give a fuck about it.
They don't give a
They
fuck.
don't give a
Exactly.
fuck
They don't give
about
a fuck about it.
They know they're doing something. That's why when
agree
you
to
look at your
that.
guy
I agree
and
to
every
that.
single time, it's like some fucking NASA like GPS repositions his phone every time you look over. It's because he knows he's doing something dumb.
Of course.
Like, every
Of
time.
course. Well,
Yeah.
that's what he
Oh
expects.
yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Yo, Sneeko, you okay?
I'm great.
Look like you're in love, man.
I know, man.
Yes,
You picked up?
Don't worry about it, man. What are you bringing this stuff? El Fresh, El Wingman. Bad Wingman. Fresh is LBC.
What about you?
I'm sorry. Can you
No, I
reset
get it.
the
We
question?
like a lot of talking. So the question was basically,
Let's say you're dating a guy, and then you
He has
find out
female
that he's
friends.
got not just a high body count, but all of the female friends around him, or a lot of them. He's fucked them. Would you be okay with him like still being friends and DMing them and stuff like that as you guys are dating?
No. That's bad.
Watch.
Because like
That's Ritz.
The relationship is dead or the girls are dead?
like
clarify.
like no, like really though, like if I'm with you, like you okay with me being cool with my nigga friends and I'm fucking my niggas like my nigga friends, like
Yeah.
like
yeah.
I'm just saying like
Jay
be for
County.
real. Like
Oh.
you okay with me fucking my homeboys and you still like I'm still cool with my homeboys and you want me to still be cool with you fucking your homegirls and y'all cool and tight. Like no, that's that.
All right, let me
There
ask you a
is-
question though.
What?
Would you let's say you're with a guy that you like, you love and you admire, right?
Look at
And you respect him. Would
Look
you
at
realistically
Fresh.
want to have sex with other men?
Excuse me?
Let's say you're with a man that you love and you admire and you respect. Would you realistically want to have sex with other men?
Ross.
See, and then
I
you
don't-
can't
I
even
don't- I
you
don't-
can't even
I
grasp it,
don't
right?
know, like I'm
if
sorry.
if you're with a man, your
sorry.
boyfriend, fiance, whatever, you love him, you respect him, would it even come to your mind to have sex with other dudes?
No, I don't want to have sex with nobody else.
Okay, now let me flip it. If that guy's in a relationship with you and he loves you, you know what the reality is? He wants to have sex with other
Oh,
girls.
I'm sure of it.
Okay, so
You're right.
so when I'm
Because
so what you're
No.
arguing right now,
What-
saying, well, that's like me
Shut
having sex with my
your
homeboys.
mouth. No, it's fucking not. Stop this. Like, it's the whole reason. Like, they're making a play. Like, it's such a fucking bait. Of course, the answer is yes. But the reason women don't answer with yes is because if I answer with yes, then it's okay for you to do it to me, and I don't want that. So no, if I can't, if it means that you can have it, then no. Do you understand the baiting that is going on here? And they're all, biting down on it. Why am I not okay with infidelity and adultery? Well, on my behalf, like if I'm doing it, well, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is that if it's okay for me to do it, then why is it not okay for my partner to do it? On that basis, I'm not down, bro. I'm not down. But then the idea is that men naturally want more women. Agreed. Fair enough. Women want, but the way, oh God, I'm going to sound like an idiot now. Right. Okay. So the idea is that men will have a never-ending lust for women, and they want more women. Okay. But women don't. Women just want one man who's going to provide security, safety, stability, all of the good shit. Fine. Agreed. I don't disagree with them on that. Okay. The problem is what Fresh and Fit come out and they do is they try to push it forward like, okay, if that's the case, then naturally what that means is it's okay for a man to have multiple women as long as they can provide for them. Agreed? In logical terms, sure. Why the fuck not? And then, but when we're talking about women, well, now you have a high valued man. So technically you have what you want. Everybody's happy, right? But it doesn't fucking work like that. Why not? Okay, it doesn't fucking work like that because at the end of the day, women are not okay with that. And if you continue to do it, you're a fucking idiot if you think the only way you can prevent them keyword prevent them from sleeping around because you're sleeping around is if, you know, you're some kind of tyrant. You can lock them up in a fucking dungeon or torture them if they were to do it. Like, that's the only way you could prevent that. Otherwise, they aren't going to do that. 100% of the time. If you're like putting it forward like, oh yeah, it's an unspoken rule that I'm going to sleep with other women and somehow you have to be okay with that. Yo, good luck with that shit. Good luck with that. I hope you're sleeping with a fucking knife under your pillow because you're going to need it, metaphorically speaking. Holy fuck. And it's like, women are already on this. They're like, yeah. It's like, he's asked her, let's flip it. So he asked her, do you want more men? And she says no. The whole reason she probably said no was one, because, well, she won't ever really need more than one man. One man is enough. As long as he's a high valued man, he can take care of me, all of that good shit. So no, why would I need another man? Okay. But if he asked, do you ever have an attraction for other men? Like, are you attracted to other men? Do you like to look at other men? Do you like to... The answer would probably be a lot different, because if we're going to sit here and say that women just are looking at their one man, sure, it is a lot of the time. No, actually, I can't take it like that, because I do believe that women are okay with one partner. But there needs to be a condition there that one partner takes care of them wholesomely, completely, 100%, as they take care of them. Meaning you don't fuck around. It's like, yeah, we do have a never-ending lust, but the same thing is in life where it's like, yeah, there's suffering and there's, you know, sacrifices needed to get to the top, to become a high-valued man. One of the sacrifices you need to make to get to the top of family status, it's not all connected. Who you are in your family and your personal life does not connect with your business life. It can, it shouldn't. You should try to keep those things separate. But in your family life, you want to aim to be a good man, a good husband, a good father. In your work life, you want to be a good boss. You want to be a good employer, a good co-worker, a good employee, whatever it is you're doing. And being a good husband requires you... Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah. Requires you to not sleep around, first of all. Because if you don't, then you're unfaithful. Like, it's fine to want other women as a man. You're always going to. That's never going to go away. I'm not arguing with them over that. But their argument that in order to keep your man happy, he provides so many things for you, you have to be willing to let him cheat. No, I don't agree with that. We all have to make sacrifices. We all have to, you know, compromise. And that is definitely one place that people should not budge on that. Ugh. Yo, I'm really starting to think I need to push this forward, man. Because I need to find people with similar fucking ways of looking at things. Because I know what I'm talking about is right, man. Like, this is it's funny, whatever, ha ha ha. But
Well, not really,
it's,
because you-
it's taken seriously by some people.
Answer,
you don't really
so
wanna
to
do
answer
that.
on my behalf, no.
Okay, you would not want it.
No.
Okay. But you do understand that a guy, even if he loves you, wants to have sex with other girls.
What he's saying there
Most of
is
the time.
You're right.
you should be okay with that, and she's saying you're right. And she's just what he's doing there is basically making her look like an idiot, which is like, I know it should happen, but I'm not okay with it. Therefore, I'm guilty for that.
Right.
And
Because that's
and she
that's just
agrees
how
with
that-
it. Like fucking idiot.
So that's all I'm saying is because you were trying to say it's equal, like, oh well, that's like me having sex with my homeboys, and I'm trying to say it's not because you don't really want to have sex with them if
He's
you're with
so
a man that you
good.
love. Versus he's with you, he loves you,
Look at her
but he
now.
definitely still wants
She
to have sex
agrees.
with his homegirls. That's what I'm trying to say.
You're right. You're right.
She understands
Yeah,
like,
sure, you're right.
like really. She
Yeah.
understands really like, yeah,
boss.
Okay,
I think she, yeah, I think
she just sounds like, yeah,
I'm just saying men and women are different. Like,
really, yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah, women naturally don't want to be hoes if they're with the guy that they love, admire, and respect.
And Destiny is not saying anything here because she's burying herself. She's digging her own grave.
Of
course
You're
not.
right, but
Of course not.
but a dude would definitely still have love for the girl, but he still want to hoe off, like he still want to, fuck off.
Period.
And I get that. It's just that's
So let
just
me ask
how
you this.
shit be. Like for real, like in
No.
real life.
Not every guy.
No,
Hold on,
not
hold on.
every guy. You're
Not
right.
every
You're
guy.
right. Not every guy is the
not in
same.
real
I
life
bet some
either.
men
You're right.
that-
Not every guy is the same.
Let me
but
ask you a
let's-
question.
Yeah, nigga.
If you know that guys want to do that, would you be okay with your guy stepping out, knowing the reality that most guys just want to have multiple women? Would you be okay with that, knowing that? Now that you understand the reality.
But
Now that
in
you
that
understand.
situation, that's where you gotta know what type of what you're looking for in the dude. Like
Okay.
what you wanna what you
Oh
what you
my
wanna
God,
put up
bro.
with, what you wanna deal with.
Have you
Okay.
ever had a dream
Well, knowing.
that you
Well, my question to you is, I want trying to get a direct answer here is knowing that most men want to have sex with
You
most
see what
girls.
he's doing. You
I'm
see
saying
what
if
he's
you're with the
doing.
guy that you love and you respect, are you willing to put up with
Because
that?
this basically
Knowing that
affirms
there's a
his
high likelihood it'll
beliefs
happen.
and his
I'm not for you
what
if
he's
you wouldn't do
promoting.
that. No.
You want a man
Awesome.
to be monogamous to you only.
There's
If
nothing
it's
wrong
if
with
it's
that.
real, you're right. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, you want him
Yeah.
to be monogamous to you.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Like really, she means that.
It's not possible.
I think there's to be clear.
not-
I
it's
think there's a
not-
difference.
Some women are
it's
willing
not
to
even-
do anything to keep you monogamous to them, like just
Monogamous.
faithful to them.
I just think.
They'll fucking
it's
suck
not
you
even that,
dry
like,
every
like,
single
see,
day to keep you.
I think you should clarify for your question.
Yeah.
When you
Yes,
say, because when you
please.
say your man wants to fuck another woman,
Mhm.
that can be two very different things.
Yeah.
Does he like fantasize about like
Yep.
fucking other people sometimes? Because I'm
Thank
sure
God,
even most women will
Destiny's stepping.
fantasize about like a celeb or whatever. Or
Absolutely.
do they want to like? Would they, given the opportunity to step out and do it and not get
Yeah,
caught
they
when
would.
they do it?
They would.
Yeah, sure, but I'm just saying those wants are two different things.
It's
So
called
like when you say,
cheating for
would
a
you want to be
reason.
with a man who wants to fuck other women? Well, if you're saying like it's natural that every guy like has a
Monogamous.
fantasy or desire to, that's different than it's natural that every man will cheat.
Does
I think
it?
Yeah,
that's
but
Yes.
two
under
way
the
different
context of the conversation, how we pretexted him talking to those other girls and potentially having sex, I mean, I would assume she would infer that.
Potentially, yeah, but I'm saying like a woman
Yeah,
saying that
we
like
know
I
what
want a man
you're
that doesn't want
inserting.
any other woman, she's either retarded or that sentence makes perfect sense. It depends, right?
I-
Because if you're with a man
was-
who you don't ever want him to have desire for the woman,
When
you're
I said
dumb,
that, you
right?
understood that I meant he wants to be with other girls. He wants to fuck other girls. You understood that, right?
Like will
Pretty clearly?
fuck other girls given
He
the
will fuck
opportunity.
other girls given the opportunity, right? I mean, that's why she answered the way she did. Like, no.
See, he's making
So I
assumptions.
think she
fam.
understands it, but
But
He knows exactly
what-
what he's doing.
no, we got you. Really, like absolutely, we got you.
Yeah. Just don't say
This
anything else
generation
because
is crazy. That's all.
Crazy, man.
No,
Take grits.
all
They're
I'm saying is
playing
that
games,
you want a
bro.
guy to be monogamous to you, and I'm simply saying that's not realistic in most
You're
situations.
absolutely right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So why
And I
not?
agree.
do you understand what he's doing? Like he's not letting her step away from it because the moment she agrees with it and she keeps saying he's right, the viewers are thinking, "Oh shit, what Myron and the Fresh and Fit podcast are putting forward is totally legit." I mean, women themselves see the logic in it.
You're right,
Adapt
Byron.
why not adapt to reality and
It's-
accept
You're
it?
right. It's
You're
possible.
right. Yeah.
It's possible. But if that's up to me on whether or not I want to move forward with that,
He's
decision.
laughing because
Like,
he's
you
like,
know,
fuck this
like,
idiot. He took the bait.
you trying to be funny?
Destiny sees right
He
through
is
it.
trying to be
That's why he's
funny.
scratching his head.
Yo, what the fuck?
You're an asshole, bro.
I just like your points, man.
You're an asshole,
Good
bro.
debate.
I don't know, but I like.
I don't know.
She got it.
I'm cool over here now.
Yo, she cool and shit.
I'm gonna do Herbo back there.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. What about
What about you?
Would you be okay with your guy having his
brick of
female
fentanyl.
friend still around that he had sex with in the past?
Never
Walter
in
White.
a million years.
Please talk into the microphone.
Never in
She's
a
sobering up.
million years.
She's
never.
sobering
Why do you,
up.
why you saying
Okay.
It was
that?
perk 9,000, you're on perk 3,000.
I mean, come on, let's be honest here. You're definitely under the influence of something when you came in here.
Bro, you're nodding off
I'm
on the pod.
nervous.
You're nervous?
This is my first time.
You were asleep half the show.
What?
You were nodding off.
Oh, well, I didn't sleep last night. I woke up at 2 a.m.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, we're not even.
I told you, motherfuckers. Like, if it was
bullshit
not
this,
obvious
you could
enough.
barely even pick up that cup Zena gave
Oh,
you.
really? I didn't even know that.
We know you didn't know that. We fucking know.
Nani?
I've been up since 2 a.m., so almost 24 hours.
Me too, babes. Guess what? I can pick up a cup perfectly fine. Can you? Pick it up.
No, the coffee cup.
The other one.
That's so true.
That says a lot about your podcast.
So
as
the
far
only
as I'm
reason I ask
concerned.
is because I think that sometimes when we ask questions,
Yeah, go
especially
ahead.
poll questions,
Yeah.
I think that sometimes the answers can be a little bit one-dimensional. Or there's another question asked. So like earlier we talked about how many partners does a person have, and are they likely to divorce? And it's like 0 and 1 are the best number of partners to have.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it could be that they're religiously they found the one.
Yeah,
and,
there's
like,
other
that's right.
variables,
And
man.
then same thing
Yeah.
with this. So like, does a girl care about a guy with like a 50 or 100 body count? Like, typically, if you ask a girl, they're not going to say they care. But realistically, if you're known in a community as a fuckboy, or if you've got a lot of girls that you're talking to and your girlfriend finds out, because you're not going to tell her that you fuck those girls, because no guy will say that. But if she finds out that you were fucking one of those girls, like there a lot of problems tend to crop up to where
Yeah.
the high body count guys do run into issues. You're just not going to show up on like a polling question.
Like, guys, like, I'm not here to tell you, man, don't fuck around or do that. Just don't be in a relationship and do it. The same thing applies to women. I would definitely recommend a bro go out and experience life. But if it's a girl, I'm not going to do that. Fine, I agree with them. Whatever on that case. But guys, you got to understand the benefits of, I know it might not be flashy and whatever, but there are really big positives to having a woman that you appreciate, you love, you still want to aim to be a high valued man, but then you're like, yeah, but what am I getting out of it? A lot. You're getting respect, dignity, pride, loyalty, trust, honesty, so many valuable attributes to life by, being loyal. It's a key fucking part. Like, stop trying to dismiss this in your mind and playing on your superiority complex that you need to be superior. You don't. Like, women, not a good woman who's going to be in your life will not really need that. You can still be the leader. You need to be the leader. I'm saying the same things in that regard. You need to be a leader in your household. I do believe that. You should take responsibility. You should be in charge. I'm all for all of that stuff. But at the same time, if you decide to be unfaithful, to cheat, it's called cheating for a reason. Then you are going to create problems in your relationship and you're not going to be in the right for it. And you are going to live to regret it. So think very carefully, because it's very... Try and look at it from the perspective of, if she were to do it, would you be okay with it? You wouldn't. Like, let's stop lying to ourselves. You wouldn't be okay with it, so don't do it. Keep yourself cool. Control yourself in that regard. As you control yourself in every other aspect of life, you need to have boundaries, limits. You need to take care of people you love in your life. And you need to be a man. You're going to feel respect for yourself. You're going to be able to love yourself. You're going to be able to accept yourself for who you are. And you're going to be proud of yourself, what you've achieved. So yes, there are a lot of attributes because in the back of your mind, if you're doing this shit, you know you're fucking up in one way or another. That's why they say it's one thing to be a great man and it's another thing to be a good man, and you tend to have to choose because great men in the past have achieved levels of success you could not even believe, but at the same time in their households at home with their wives and their kids, they weren't the best. They sacrificed one for the other. I'm not telling you to sacrifice. I'm telling you have a balance. Okay? And actually, I am telling you to sacrifice in that regard. You need to control yourself. What's up, bro? How you doing? You good?
Okay, but that man, okay, that's a good point. But that man is inherently attractive to women.
Yeah, he will be. Yeah.
By virtue of.
I mean, there's
of
a
him
reason
being
why
able to
he's
get other
fucking a
girls.
lot of girls.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but and I always find it funny. Like a guy that can fuck a lot of girls will sit here and lie and be like, I don't want a guy that has sex with a lot of girls, or I don't want.
They're not lying, bro. Like that's I'm doing pretty good. How about you? I'm doing fine, my friend. I'm doing Gucci. We're just watching this fucking deranged fucking podcast here. I mean, they got a lot of good points. Like I've made this, I've said this many times before, but there are some places that they really fall short. Example, what he's saying here.
Want a guy to be a whore, as they would say. But the reality is those guys are the most attractive, and those are the guys that women find irresistible, because if you're charming to one girl, well, women aren't really that special. You could be charming to a large majority of them as well.
Sure.
Yeah,
It's like you're constantly playing these calculation games in your head, trying to
Yes.
figure out who you want. So like for a woman, like the perfect guy would be right, a guy that's super attractive, but is like blind, doesn't see any other women. Right. That would
Yeah.
be like the perfect guy. Who,
And
like,
that's where
can't-
the delusion
yeah.
comes in. Like I don't want to use her as an example, but she said, "Oh yeah,
How did you find the stream, bro? I'm just curious. And apart from that, is this your first time? Because I don't have chat open on Twitch, so it doesn't tell me if you're. But yeah, it's the first time you're here. I know that. I can tell by your name. I haven't seen it in here before.
I know most guys are not going to be monogamous, but I expect monogamy."
Well,
And I'm
sure,
just
but
like-
also most attractive women
Yeah.
aren't going to be a virgin till 24,
okay.
right?
Good.
You're right.
So,
No,
I mean, like,
no,
it's-
Of course. A guy's got to be fairly, aware of that too. With that most girls are
I'm
not.
just
I
chatting
would
category. Awesome,
argue,
bro.
right, that most girls, if you take an average 21-year-old female, and an average 21-year-old male, the
You
average
watched this
21-year-old female is
podcast?
going to be
You've
far
seen
more
it
sexually
before.
experienced than the average 21-year-old male.
Probably.
In today's day and age, women just get more practice by virtue of being a woman.
All right. So if you haven't seen this podcast, you've heard of Andrew Tate, right? You've heard of the red pill community, because that's what these guys associate with.
Of dealing with the opposite gender, which makes them a lot better at dealing with men than men
I'm
are dealing with
assuming.
women.
No, I don't know what this is.
In this,
Okay, so basically, in America, you've got two sides of the story. You've got the red pill community, and you've got the blue pill community. And I know who Andrew Tate is, of course. Well, there you go. So everything that Andrew Tate supports and everything, and a little bit extra that Fresh and Fit likes to put forward. That's what this podcast is about being, at the same time, being a responsible, dedicated man who takes responsibility, who's a good boss, and he strives to be the best version of himself, like build your own business, all of those good things that I'm full in support of. Having a wife that takes care of you, she's at home, taking care of the house. And I've heard of red pill, but I'm not exactly sure what it means. Well, this is what it means. It's basically the idea that men should strive to be the best version of themselves, and how a woman basically will settle for a single man, and be okay with that, but a man will not. And my argument to that is, well, I don't think that's the case. I don't see that to be the case. I haven't got a problem with men taking responsibility, to man up, to be strong. I'm a big supporter of these things, and I think a lot of the things that Andrew Tate says do apply, but there's somewhere where those things fall short, which is like infidelity and adultery, and the idea that just because men want to have sex with a lot of women, it gives them that right to, just because they have a high value in society. And I don't agree with that. I think the same kind of limitations that you put on in life when it comes to like your fucking diet and not going 300 miles an hour on the fucking highway, because, well, there are consequences to that. Same thing is with adultery. I don't really like calling it adultery, but having a lot of bitches, whatever you want to call it, I think there are a lot of disadvantages to that. And well, for starters, if you're married to someone, you being unfaithful, you cheating. And so I'm not okay with that. But these guys are trying to push this narrative really, really fucking hard. Yeah, I'm trying to dismiss them. At least that's.
I'm not even gonna let y'all like in this day and age. It's been proven. It's a known fact. Like men fuck more than women. Now,
no, not true at all.
Okay, but let's talk about my age group, the 21, 22 year old.
Maybe the guys that you're talking to, but the average guy.
No. That's not the guys that I was talking to. What he brought up specifically was a 21-year-old male and a 21-year-old female. No, in this day and age, I disagree. In this day and age, I disagree, and I feel as though that a 21-year-old male definitely has more experience than a 21-year-old female.
That's not true at all.
Okay, well, that's what I believe.
1 in 3 men haven't had sex in the past year or are virgin.
Yeah, I don't think men or women should have more than one partner at the time. I didn't know this was really a question. Yeah, I didn't either. I know these guys are trying to push that narrative. I'm Serbian. This is not really talked about here. Yeah, thank fuck for that, because it's fine to promote, ideas of men being men, real men, standing up for yourself, being the leader in your household, taking care of business, striving to work out. All of these things are really good things. But then they take it a step further and try to include a superiority type of way of life where I'm a man, so I'm superior to women, and therefore that gives me an excuse to sleep around, even though it's literally adultery, it's literally infidelity, it's called cheating for a reason. But these guys really try to push it, and they're so good with it. You would be surprised. Like, they get some really, really stupid women on this podcast, and they make them feel stupid by not wanting their partner to sleep around, to go with other women. They make them feel really, really stupid about it, and they push this narrative. They get their followers to actually believe these things.
In the West, 1 in 3 men. There's more virgins.
You said in the West?
Sex. Yeah.
You said in the West.
Especially this guy here, the bald guy.
This is the West of the world.
The guy in the corner, he's very good.
Don't try to do the geography. You thought Dubai was a country. This is
that's fine.
Yeah,
the West is the Western world.
Literally,
Okay, so-
sexism, the fact that men are technically stronger, doesn't give them permission to cheat. I agree with you 100%. And in fact, the fact that they are stronger, because I don't disagree, that's our biology, totally 100% agreed. In fact, the reason they are stronger should give them more reason to be able to withhold from those temptations, to not go out and fuck anything that basically moves, even though you're in a marriage, you've made a vow to not cheat on that person. Well, now somehow you have the right to, because you have a high value in society. No, there are no excuses in my books. You shouldn't do that, and if you were to do that, you should suffer the consequences. Yeah, I totally agree with you. 150%.
Western European psychology, like
He means
everything, all
developed
that.
first world countries.
That's what I asked him. That's what I'm trying to ask him.
I get what you're saying. Your point of view, the guys that do that, but the whole landscape of men around the world, especially the West, definitely don't get laid. And as well, your local CVS and Mass,
I
your
don't
local.
disagree.
Wait, did you say the vast majority of men don't get laid?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Bro, the top earners are getting laid. The average guy is already getting laid like that. And if you
Didn't
want
Seago just say it's high now, but it's still 30% haven't had sex. 1 in 3. So the majority of men, 66.6%.
Yeah, maybe once or twice a year, but it's way less.
Yeah,
than,
but what statistics on a global scale in the world? That's unbelievable. Like, I'm very happy to hear that. If that is the case, that only 1 in every 3 men, doesn't have sex, then I'm happy to hear that, because as far as I'm concerned. But again, if it's like just casual fucking one night stands and shit, then who cares? Nothing good's gonna come out of that. They will get a bit more confidence, but then if they stop getting more of it, then they will just get less confident as an end result. So it needs to be for lasting relationship, to get experience. Right, yeah. I'm glad to hear
compared to
that.
women though, it's way less.
So you guys are just sitting up here having
Okay,
sex
real
once
quick,
or twice
because
a
I'm
year?
pulling up stats on this. So the average American loses his or her virginity at 17. Virgins make up 12.3% of females and 14.3% of males. So it's a little bit higher on the male side, but
Yeah.
not
Very
that much.
little.
It's 2 points higher.
Yeah.
For ages 20 to 24, which is the age group she's talking about.
Okay.
Thanks.
That's the
Not that
statistics
high,
for
but a little bit
America.
higher.
Well,
So,
I mean,
there's that point.
you also keep in mind that women, you know, almost always underreport their sexuality, right? For obvious reasons, right? There's
No,
stigma.
Myron, you see he's
and
doing
men
it again. He's
overreport theirs.
very good
So-
at
Okay, but you
this.
said 21.
This is an anonymous
Basically,
fucking.
and let's really be honest about it.
Yeah, sure,
You,
go ahead.
when you get to 21, you're
disagreement?
you're basically just becoming out of a teenager in American society. Now you're technically considered an adult at 21,
But there's a
right?
big difference, though. A woman is at her peak at 21. A man is still fairly low value at 21.
And as well, who puts in all the work? Girls just show up and they get laid. We gotta actually have some game, be at least tall, somewhat successful if we can be at 21. It's not
Yep.
easy.
And maybe.
Well, fuck, you guys are triggering the fuck out of me. You say girl has to put in when you say girls have to put in no work. Well, because you keep conflating.
Believe it or
sex.
not,
When you say
believe it
girls
or
have to
not,
put in no work and they get laid.
the one
That-
person who really makes sense on this panel is this guy, the one with who's talking right now with the blue hair, and that goes like, if you've watched me for long enough, you know my views on like the LGBTQIA, all of this stuff, and there are places where I'm okay with stuff, but there are a lot of places where I'm like completely against some of the things, which is like identity politics. But this guy, he's like, if you look at his background, it's you would never expect I would agree with the stuff he talks about, but I really do, and a lot of the time, and he makes a lot of sense when he talks.
is true for an average guy. It's not going to be true for the top fucking 10%, top
Yep.
5%, top 1%
Yep.
dude.
For the
Top
average
1% guy is not fucking busted girls.
Yep.
He doesn't have to.
Bro, oh my god. Dude, he will fuck anything on a slow Tuesday.
He doesn't have to fuck
He
anything
doesn't
on
have
Slow
to, but
Tuesday.
he might.
You'll
Okay.
fuck anything.
I don't know
on a-
what I don't know in your
Is-
world.
Is that how you feel?
How many? Okay, hold on. I'm curious.
It's not about-
For a
it's
guy
not
that's
about
like
me.
decently clouded up on YouTube,
Yeah.
how many unique women do you think you could fuck in a year?
Yeah.
A lot.
If you had to guess, if you had to put a number to it.
Could
Yeah.
fuck or would
Like could fuck theoretically.
This is a very
100.
nuanced question.
Well, because mine, I'll tell you mine. I think that an average clouded
Okay,
dude on YouTube,
realistically,
an average
50.
clouded dude, if he was trying,
Yeah,
could
50.
easily fuck over 50 women a year.
Yeah,
One
that's
new
what I would
woman a
say.
week, easily.
Yeah.
You have a
Easy.
very high
Yeah, yeah.
expectation
Bro,
of men,
You
bro.
don't. You really don't think so? Okay.
No, man.
He's
Not some of the guys
clouded
that come on
up,
the show
bro.
and guess and stuff
Bro,
like that, they
it's
just
like-
get clouded up.
Yo, he has the fucking reputation. He doesn't need to even try. He just goes on fucking Tinder, or goes out in the street, drives around in a nice car. He's clouded up, meaning he has a lot of money. He's successful. He has one of the biggest fucking attributes that women look at today. How fucking difficult is it for him to pull a girl a week? Like, that's so underestimated. I literally pulled more than that in one summer. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm not high valued. I wasn't at the time either. Like, what?
Like, I don't
Awkward.
really
They might
think-
look kind of awkward. They
Yeah.
don't really know how to talk to girls. It's kind of.
Oh yeah, hold on. Okay, yeah, if it's an awkward fuck dude, but if it's a guy that's like decently
Most
raised, I don't
online
mean he's like the
creators,
most
bro,
fucking
are
manosphere.
not rizzed up.
Dude, making
They make
documentary
money.
videos, editing all day.
They're
just
behind a
'cause
computer screen doing content, but they don't know how to
gaming.
talk to people like
Those
in a real
Fortnite streamers
environment.
don't know
Okay,
how to talk to
So
women.
okay, so square this for me. Now you're telling me that these high value men.
If he's a secure man, isn't mentally strong, he won't. He won't go and sleep with 50 women. If he's single, let's just say he's single. He's not married. We're not talking about cheating anymore. So if he's single and he's secure, like you say, he's making a lot of money, and he intentionally wants to put himself out into the world and pull girls, get girls to have sex with him, will he have a harder time to do that? Will it be difficult for him to do that is the question. And my answer is obviously no. Do I think he should do it? No. Do I think that any man who is, like you say, mentally strong, would he do it? No. So I agree with you. But we're talking about like, they are actually disagreeing with the guy with the blue hair, and they're saying that just because you have success doesn't mean that you can have a lot of women, which is totally contradictory, because they are literally the biggest proponents of this. They are literally saying to guys, young, older, of course not. I'm just saying that if he's an actual normal person, he won't do it. Yeah, of course not. I mean, my backstory is not I was a normal person. I grew up in a tourist area, so all the girls I had one night stands with and stuff was because of my environment. I was just lucky to be in that area, and I obviously wanted to experience that kind of lifestyle. That's why I managed to do those things. But anybody who doesn't grow up in that kind of environment, I can't speak on their behalf. So I'm a special circumstance. But these guys are like, become successful, fuck a lot of women, blah, 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 blah. But then they say that if you are successful, it doesn't mean that you're going to have a lot of women, which is, those two ideas are in direct conflict with each other. It doesn't make sense. It's
Can't fuck a lot of women. How does that make sense earlier with you saying
You're
that
calling a gamer. That
No, I'm
has
saying a clouded
high
up dude, a
value.
clouded up dude
dude.
on YouTube or
Give
something.
me an example. Who?
Fucking is anybody on YouTube with over 500,000 subs? He's not like a fucking Fortnite player.
Okay, let's use a person that came on here. Steve will do it.
It's not that.
Do you think
you're kind of looking at it from like a black and white standpoint? You got to remember that there's high status guys that struggle with women, and there's guys that are lower status that still fuck a bunch of girls.
Oh
like
my God,
the thing is
bro,
that
it's just
here's the
complicating
thing.
it. for
Hold on,
the
I agree with what you just said.
Yeah.
But that's totally at odds
Yeah.
earlier with your whole spiel earlier about hypergamous guys, top 20% fucking bottom 80% constantly. But now you're
Yes.
telling me, well, top guys can struggle, bottom guys could fall,
Exactly.
which I agree with. But
Yeah.
now that's like
Yeah.
the blue pill fucking shit, where
Yeah.
that's like we get out of the red pill and we go to like the PUA guys. Like,
Well-
if you got game, any guy can get any girl, which
Yeah.
I tend to agree with more.
Well, here's the
but
thing. Here's
yeah.
the thing that you're missing.
Sure.
The
You're
guys at the lower
contradicting
level
yourself.
have something exceptional, whether they're
Oh
extremely
my God,
attractive
Myron.
or they're charismatic, but they have something at the lower level.
Or tall.
The guys
so
at the
good
top
at
level,
this.
they
Drives me
might have the
crazy.
status, but they're fucking awkward.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
fine.
So a guy that has some game that's good looking can still go ahead and kill it, even though his socioeconomic status sucks. So he'll get a girl, he'll get laid here and there, but retention is going to be a problem. Because at some point,
Like
a girl's
what they're doing now is debating. So what this bold guy here is trying to do now is win the argument to make himself look better and his ideals look amazing to his average viewer and his followers, because he has an incentive to. He profits from it. So it's kind of obvious that I get that. Yeah, it's totally fucking obvious. And the other guy is just like calling him out on his bullshit. He's like, wait a minute, didn't you just say earlier this and that?
is going to be like, oh, okay, I can't take anything serious with you because you're a fucking bum. So that's why I tell guys, you got to have everything. So it goes both ways. There are bums that can get girls, and there's guys that have money that can get girls.
Yeah, so
and it
basically
goes the other way
everybody
around,
has
where
to
there's
watch
bums
my
that can get
podcast.
girls, and then there's bums, guys that have status that can't get girls. So
Okay.
it
But
depends
you
on
think
the
a guy,
guy.
you think a decently clouded guy, and it could be
Yeah.
the case you're saying. I think
Yeah.
a decently clouded guy on YouTube that can, he doesn't have to be like
He's
the most
totally
raced out
right,
guy
Dustin.
ever, but he's not
You're
fucking autistic.
totally right.
That this guy would like desperately fuck any possible woman that talked to him.
Yeah,
he wouldn't
that-
be able to say no to anyone.
I'm saying
That's
if he's at a party
bullshit.
with friends, there's girls there. Oh, she's kind of cute. All right, I'll do it.
Kind of cute is different than busted girl that puts in no effort.
Yes.
Because like a kind of cute
yes.
girl that's putting in minimal effort is still spending fucking 30 minutes on her hair, 30 minutes on
Yeah.
makeup, is doing all sorts of
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Well,
You're
she even shows up
forgetting
at the party,
a
right?
man's natural inclination to want to like just bust a nut. Like
Yeah,
that's
but the
every guy,
natural
bro.
inclination changes based on what's available to you. I think it changes.
It can.
Yeah.
But let's say nothing's available right now. All right, fuck it.
But if
She's here.
nothing's available right now, how are you oh, right now?
He's
Yeah,
so
but dude,
good.
like for example,
But if you've got like all these girls that are like on
Destiny.
call, you could fly anybody out in the world. You could fucking do whatever that you can
Exactly.
go talk to anybody in your city. But if you saw a busted up girl at a party and she was like,
In other words, he has options, bro. Like he's got girls like hitting him up on Instagram and trying to chat with him. Like he doesn't even need to make the effort. All he needs to do is like put his information out to the world, and he is going to get attention. Like that is just a known fact. Okay, who he's getting attention from, fine, that's subjective. We could very well calculate that a lot of the women trying to contact him are bums, literal bums, just looking to make some, get something out of him. But there are going to be some like decent options, and then there are going to be even fewer like good options. But if he puts in a little bit of effort, he's going to be getting so much attention that it's not that amazing to him anymore. It's like it's something that he already has. We already know this. This is human psychology. We don't miss what we already have. We miss what we don't have and what we can't have. It's just
I want to fuck
basic
you. Like,
fucking psychology.
I have to. Like,
Yeah.
like a decently clouded out guy.
see, you're saying, for example, he can't ever do it. I'm just saying he can if he wants to.
Yeah, but he wouldn't.
How would you know,
Because why would you?
bro?
You could call a better girl and go fuck her.
Okay,
Here's the thing, Destiny. You're making. You see, girls play games, dude. There's a girl that you'll hook up
So
one
good at
time,
this,
right, and then she'll play games. Then you got to move on to the next girl, whatever. Like girls are very fickle and flaky. Like she'll fuck you now, and then her
fuck
boyfriend hits her
off.
back, her ex-boyfriend hits her back up, and then she starts talking to him, and she's out the roster. Like girls drop off all the time.
I agree,
Yeah,
kind
how
of.
can you
but I think that's because
disagree?
guys play a lot of fucking games too.
Yeah.
Because guys will run into girls that are playing games, but it's because they're playing games to get in their DMs. Oh yeah, we can chat. Like it was so much fun hanging out with you. Like I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. Like let's hook up again tonight. And then you hook up, you bust, and you're like, I got shit I got to do in the morning. Like, can you take off or whatever?
Yeah.
And then yeah, of course, like girls start to play games because guys are playing the same fucking game.
Exactly.
I think if you're upfront with a girl and you're like, yo, you want to fuck?
Yep.
That's all I'm into. That's all I'm looking for, whatever.
Yep.
And she's either like, yeah, sure, or no. And then you can
Statistically
figure
speaking,
out.
that's
They
like
don't all say that is absolutely not.
that's-
true.
That's how I used to
I
play.
literally-
Wait, if you're
Literally
clouded
face
up
value.
on fucking
It
YouTube,
doesn't work, man. Girls want your time. They don't want easy sex. We want easy sex. They want our time. That doesn't ever work.
I feel like
Don't give out bad advice to men and tell them to say
it's
want to
not.
fuck.
It's not. No. It's not advice to normal men. It's advice to clouded guys, which is what you guys talk about 90% of the
That's
time.
never
When you're-
worked. I've never said want to fuck and then some.
Do you
girl
want to bet right now that you couldn't go into your Instagram DMs? I know you could find at least
said,
5
"Wanna
girls.
fuck?"
Yeah, and a girl's hitting you up, and you're
You
like, "Hey,
could,
do you want to like, have a
definitely.
hookup?"
Destiny.
There are girls on this panel that you could fuck tonight
Destiny.
with little to no effort, and
That's
say it's a
it,
casual
man.
one-time thing.
Yo,
Destiny,
that's so
easy.
good.
I get what you're saying.
It's so
but at the same
true.
time, it's a numbers game. Like you
Them
said
saying
earlier.
yes is one thing, but
Yeah.
them actually showing up, not saying, I don't know how I feel about this. Can we go on a date? Like they're
That's
gonna
because
change
it's
their
the guy,
mind. and different.
because it's the guys trying not to fuck it up. Don't do anything creepy. Don't do anything fucking weird.
Bro.
As long as you don't fuck it up, it's usually not that hard to land.
Destiny,
I can tell you have no experience with.
I can hold
doing
you.
this.
He does.
Oh, don't
I'm
go.
sorry, hold on.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
talking- I don't want
don't.
to make it
I know it
personal.
doesn't seem like that, Jack. He
Stop.
just, like-
I don't want to make it personal, but
Yeah.
I can tell you 100%. There are like 20 girls right now that I could fly out if I wanted to tonight
Yep.
to fuck and
Yep.
never see them
Yep.
again, and they'd be totally cool with it. But that's
Okay.
because I'm super upfront right at the start. When I
No.
talk to people, I'm fucking married. I'm never fucking dating you.
Yeah.
But like, we could be friends. I'll hang out. I'll chill.
He's-
we can do
he's
it.
in
And
an
I know
open
there are other
relationship,
guys
by the
that
way.
are super clouded up on YouTube that can do it as well. But when you guys are playing all these weird fucking games,
This
like,
is why I was saying previously, like taking his personal life into consideration, I would never back him up in any statements. But the guy has a really fucking healthy brain, and the way he argues and debates shit is unbelievable. He's so fucking good at it, and yeah, I admire him a lot for his skills. But when it comes to his personal life, like he has an open relationship, so he's married, but he can like fuck other women, and his wife can fuck other men. So yeah, he gets a lot of heat from that. So they call him cuck all the time, but he doesn't give a shit.
like, oh, like you're trying to like maneuver or do fucking rig.
But he doesn't say like I recommend that to anybody else. He says that's for me. That's how I want to live my life. I don't recommend you do that. It's just for his lifestyle and the way he sees things, which I totally can see a world where, you know, you walk on YouTube, you have a lot of attention. It's kind of difficult for him. Maybe he can't resist. Maybe this, maybe that. It is.
Or whatever. Just be upfront, be honest, be clear. Don't be
here-
creepy.
Destiny,
Like,
Destiny. Today she's with you, then she's with me and him. It can vary. We're just saying, okay, a slow night, you're chilling with the boys, she's available. All right, good to go.
That's such a
We're
bad
just saying, look,
example.
bro,
First, let me take this. First, let me take this.
Yeah, go.
I'm going to be very simple about
Do
this.
it, yeah.
In the 1970s, there was a study done where when women were straight up propositioned for sex, it was a 95% failure. Now, let's go ahead and add status and clout to it. Okay, that might lower the chances to maybe a 90 or an 85% based on who the guy is. But you got to understand that there's multiple points of failure when you deal with a woman.
For sure.
Hey, want to fuck? Sure. Next day changes. I don't know how I feel about this. And then she comes over to your place. Do you mind if we go on a date? I don't know. Like girls change their mind based off how they feel. They don't want to.
Yeah, but want to fuck. Yeah, but yo, want to fuck physical contact. Like we meet somewhere, we're talking to each other, and then you say want to fuck, or you meet somewhere, you're doing something in the real world, and you say that, and they know who you are, they know the status you have, they know they can like get something out of it potentially. You're not aiming for anything a supermodel. You're aiming for like fucking just a girl who looks somewhat alright. On Tinder and shit, yeah, you've got to like make sure that a couple of days pass or whatever, but you're not losing
Like
anything.
horse.
You have
if
so many
say,
options.
"Wanna fuck?" She might say yes up front. Then when it's time to actually do it, she changes her mind,
I don't
etc.
know
So what I'm
anymore.
saying is that there's multiple points of failure when you deal with a girl. Girls flake a lot. Girls feel this way. They feel that way. Guy hits them up. Boyfriend hits them up. They're on their period. There's so many different variables that could come in and fuck it up for you. Now I get what you're saying. Yo, just proposition them. Be honest with them. that doesn't work for most guys.
Sure. I'll say the last thing I'll say, and then you can do whatever, because
Sure,
I don't
go
want to go
ahead.
back and forth. But
No,
like,
no, go
I
ahead.
agree with you that women will play games, but more often than not, just from the DMs that I've seen, from the people, women and men that I talk to, it's usually because the guys are playing games too. If you're up front, you might get shot down immediately.
Yep.
But like, if you're up front and she's up front,
I gotta
like,
counter to
usually
that.
things go okay. But if you're playing games, you're sitting there like, good morning, hearts, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to come over tonight? And you're only looking to bust, of course shit is going to get fucking weird
Let's
and crazy.
okay. But
Yeah.
you know what? Let's have fun with this.
Okay.
Why do men play games? Because women start the game.
I think it depends.
Hold on,
I
hold
think
on.
I think a lot of people
If
play
a
games for a lot
man,
of different reasons.
let's
Yeah.
let's look at this logically. Men want sex. If I go to a girl and grossly proposition her, let's fuck, and I have a 90% failure rate, well, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna adapt. Women want to play a game. They want to feel something. Okay, I can't just tell them let's have sex. So now I have to play the game that women want. I have
Yeah.
to make them feel special. The reason why men play games is because women start the game first.
It depends on who you say starts the game first, though. If a woman is out looking,
Yeah.
she's probably not looking for sex because women can find sex. They don't
Hence
have to
the
go
game
out
begins.
looking, right? But
Exactly.
so does the game start with the woman who is just looking for a relationship, or is it with the guy who's finding women that are looking for relationships, trying to just give them dick?
But Destiny,
Who
how
started
did-
the game?
How did he learn the game?
Oh my
I don't know.
God,
It
From
depends.
bro, what
experience of
kind
women
of
playing the game
stupid ass
first.
questions
That's
are
what
I'm
I
just
guys-
that?
saying, where does
that's
the,
the
I'm
only
just
way
saying that
guys
if
learn the
you're a
game.
guy and you're trying to fuck women that are
Philosophies
only
of
looking for
life from
relationships,
Fresh
who's
right
starting the
here.
game there? Like,
I mean, Destiny, you also got to look at human nature. Human beings are creatures of the path of least
They
resistance.
just
If
won't.
guys can get away with grossly propositioning girls for sex up front, they wouldn't play the game.
I'm
But
not
girls-
saying the normal guy can
but
do that. To
girls-
be clear, to reiterate, we were talking about top
Okay.
1% high value men because the original claim was that a high value guy
Literally the
will
only
fuck
one
a girl
with a
that puts in
brain.
zero effort. Well, it was that would date a girl initially, then it's not date, fuck. But even for fucking, a busted top 20% girl is not going to go and fuck a whole bunch of high value men. It's just not going to happen because those guys have options, or at least from what I've seen. But I don't know, maybe it's different worlds. I guess
It is different worlds,
it
bro.
might be different worlds.
I'm just saying, men have to play games because women start the games first. Trust me, human beings are creatures of least resistance. If we could get
Oh
sex just
my
by saying let's
God,
have sex,
bro.
they would. Now, going back to the higher status thing, yes, it will drop it off. Maybe not a 90.
Women play games, men play games because women want to play games. Yeah, but then, wait, how did it go? Women start the games because men have played games with them in the past, and then women think that men are going to play games because they played games with them before. So then it's just like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? It's very subjective.
95% failure rate, maybe a 90% failure rate,
Sure.
maybe even an 80% failure rate if the guy's attracted to that girl and she knows him
How are
and
you
watches
watching
content.
this for
But
2
regardless,
hours? I
the
could
girl's
never
still
listen
going
to
to want
this
something in
with
return.
focus
Women
all the
rarely
time.
exchange sex without some type of
I'm not
compensation, whether
watching
it's
it.
time,
I'm-
resources,
Sure.
feeling
I'm
special,
watching
and
this.
experience, etc.
Okay, so then just a question, yes or no, and I'm
Yeah.
done with
And then
this.
she
But
has
yeah, I
something,
can
right? Yeah,
listen to
okay.
it.
So for you three,
But
all of
you're
you
right, it
guys
is a lot.
think that you could not fuck a girl, no strings attached.
It is a lot because this specific podcast, like, this is not the typical thing I will watch. I will watch an actual debate with like intelligent listening, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I get your point. Nitpicking here with I'm looking at this, but in general, I watch like really sophisticated debates. That's what I like to do. But today, there's a reason, because for the last week, I've been looking at things from the blue pill side and basically going against feminists and all of this. And well, a lot of people don't really like that. And so I'm trying to point out that, I'm not just looking at things from one perspective. I look at things from both perspectives, or all perspectives if possible. And I like to think of myself as someone with reason, and I look for balance basically in life. Obviously, complete balance is unobtainable. It's utopia. I don't believe in utopia. But I do think striving to achieve balance, anything you can get close to it is good. Feminism is a topic here as well. I just didn't know that's called blue pill. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what they call it. Blue pill is like left. What are they called? Like the left, the socialists, the what else are they called? Like they are like the LGBTQIA, the progressives. They are all connected with like blue pill. Feminism, they are all in like that box. They don't all like to think of themselves as connected, but they kind of are in a lot of ways. And then you have the red pill community, which is like capitalism. Yeah, the woke community. Yeah, exactly. That's like the left. And then on the right, you have like the fucking capitalism and basically men are kings of the world. They created the whole fucking universe, and how they are the end all be all, which I'm okay with. Like, if we live in a world like that, I'm not complaining, but I don't see the benefits of just living with one way or the other. And so I like to see things from both perspectives and give my take on it. In the meantime, as you can see, I'm doing other things as well. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It is a lot. It is a lot to take in, but I'm nearly finished with it.
In your
so
DMs
I'm gonna,
right now. You know that you can find one of your DMs so
I'm
far.
gonna finish.
That's
it.
not how
What
it
do you
works for me,
think of guys like Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh? I think Matt Walsh is pretty fucking based, to be honest. But Ben Shapiro, if it was not for like the religious side of things, I'm not really into like religion and stuff like that. I get why people are into it. I understand why it was created and people like created a god or whatever hundreds and thousands of years ago, how long ago it was. I can understand the reason for God back then, but when it comes to today's world, I think that there are other ways to live your life without having to believe in some kind of entity that created the universe. I think that there's a reason to life, basically. And when there is no reason, or when you can't understand things, then it's good to create a God because you have somewhere to aim, you have a focus, you have a vision, you understand the reason for life itself, the creation, the end, blah, blah, blah. And Ben Shapiro is very connected with like religion and stuff. So he has some really good takes, especially when it comes to like progressives and the woke and all of that. He has a lot of good takes. I take them into consideration. But again, and the same thing with like Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson helped me a lot like years ago. When I was trying to figure myself out, I was trying to understand my place in the world. I had already gone out, partied, got drunk, fucked up my whole life many, many times already, and went out, had sex with so many fucking women. And I did all of that. I did crazy fucking shit. Adrenaline, jumping from cliffs. Like, my life is not average. And then after the age of 22, I decided this is not for me. I want a different I can't live my life like that. So I started looking into, and I think one of the first people I got accustomed to was like Jordan Peterson, who had a lot of good messages to give me. But again, even he's very religious nowadays. He associates pretty much everything with religion. It all comes back to that. And it's a little bit hard for me to digest. But again, the message is clear. The Bible has morals, stories that you can follow, and they are a good guidance for life. I agree, but that's where my not gonna lie, I quite like Jordan. I don't like the Shapiro stance of most of the personal things. For example, his opinion on music and religion, as well as you said. Yeah. Cool. Then we're on the same level. I also don't like Andrew Tate. I don't dislike Andrew Tate. So that's why I'm saying that that's one side of the story. And also Andrew Tate, for an example, because he has a lot of good takes on things. He has a lot of hot takes. But again, he calls himself the top G, which, for anybody who doesn't know, it means top gangster. And so when people ask me my opinion on him, I would say, well, do you want to be a gangster? Okay, well then take every single thing that Andrew Tate says and more. But if you're looking to be a good man in your life, you want to, run a business, I see Jordan Peterson and Matt Walsh as more relatable than Ben Shapiro. Yep, definitely. 150% I would agree. Yeah, definitely. There's also another channel on YouTube. We can go and watch one of their videos after this. They're called, what is it called? Trigonometry. So they do like videos on these kinds of things. And I watched their podcast. They're two comedians. One of them's like I think he's like half Russian or something like that. And or he's Russian and he lives in England. And the other guy's just like a pure English guy. And they're pretty funny. And they interview a lot of people who have similar takes. So they're pretty interesting. But there's no point in dismissing the other side of the argument and just saying, yeah, we're always right. No. I recommend we look at things from both sides of the perspective, where it's like, okay, then originally when it was like the feminist movement, blah, blah, blah. Why was it created and all of this stuff? So there is something to be said about both sides of the argument, although I think the left, so the blue pill community, are very, very outrageous with the things that they do nowadays, and I think it's more hurtful in many, many ways, especially when it comes to like the pride parades and how they're very outrageously sexual and it's around children. And then there's like trans people going into men's toilets or in sports changing with the girls or having an advantage in sports. Like all of these things are very hot topics, and yeah, I'm quite interested in getting into all of them. And yeah, I like global issues like that.
And not the girls that I really want to fuck. No.
Well, no, careful. We just said busted. So
But
this is
Matt
any
Walsh,
girl that's
Matt
in your
Walsh is
DMs.
pretty
But
fucking
you- yeah,
based.
neither-
Wait, what's your point about
he's
busted?
Well, because
pretty
he was
sick.
saying that busted women could fuck top 1% or
Well,
whatever.
you asked me a personal. I don't want to fuck those girls.
Okay, but look, so he's doing the thing. He wouldn't just fuck any girl, right? Earlier,
Yeah, of course. If I were to choose between right and left, I would choose to lean to the right. Yep, agreed. But there are ideas from the left that I agree with as well. Yo, you pretty awesome, man. Holy shit. I agree with you on a lot of times. So our ideas from the left that I agree with, as well as things from the right that I dislike. Yeah, there you go. You found the right place. I have no idea how you found
we
that
said
title,
men will
but
take calculus
we're
physics, men will fuck any
literally
girl they can fuck, but now
one-to-one.
he's saying
Holy
you
I'll
shit.
fuck a girl, an astrology onion breath girl. She's still hot.
but you
It's not
wouldn't fuck a
busted girl.
rando in your DMs?
If she's ugly, no.
Okay, so he wouldn't fuck anything. So he's a way exception.
No,
He's the
I would fu-
emotional
I
man.
would fuck-
He's the
Yeah.
emotional man. I
Yeah.
like that about you. Okay, you two.
What is
okay,
emotional about
you
that?
two guys, you want romance and love and pets. And
I said
Netflix.
I wanted an attractive
That's
girl.
cute. I like that. Okay, you two. You guys don't think you
Holy
could find a girl
shit,
to fuck,
that's
no strings
cute.
attached
He's
to your
gonna
DMs.
be so
If you were to be
pissed off.
upfront, like, hey, do you want to like meet tonight and just like hook up?
I mean,
And look at
possibly,
him.
but I wouldn't do it that way.
What? I thought you guys just said you'd fuck anything.
He's
The top
so
1%
annoying,
guys would
bro.
fuck anything that moves.
I'm saying
Now who's the
he's
waffle
so-
in the fucking house? What the fuck?
I am saying the average
He's got
guy
such a
that's
low
We're not talking about
IQ.
average guys. I asked you two specifically.
I like the blue guy.
Nigga, why
This
you put
was
this on me,
awesome.
man?
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's
That's
what he asked.
destiny.
Both of you.
But
It's a personal
that's-
question. Now you gotta
my
answer.
You put the
DMs
girls on.
That's
my
destiny. He is an extreme debater, and you will see some debates of his where he just goes fucking ham on his opponents and makes them look like absolute idiots. But he usually only does that when they are like really outrageously extreme in their beliefs, or they're doing something bad, or they're just being absolute assholes or annoying in any sense. But in general, I think his points of view are very cool. He's very fucking cool.
But all the time.
I
Would you
could-
guys
I
fuck
could-
somebody no
I
strings
could
attached to
possibly do
DMs?
that, but why do that?
Because you guys said the
'Cause
guys
I'm-
will fuck.
Yeah,
I'm not
you
gonna fuck
said
these
you
girls.
would
But
do
you
that.
could.
Yeah, and you said you would. You said guys would fuck
What a
anything in front of them.
fucking
Yeah, you do.
idiot! Oh
Do
my
you?
A lot of my
god,
friends, on some level, are successful,
so
have money and
annoying.
status, and they
Good to
decide, you know
you.
what, bro, she's here, bro. Fuck, it, I'm just go do my shit in the room.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like,
Do you?
Like,
Here's how you're messing it up, because you're acting like, oh, if you DM and you go seek it out, it's
Even
not like you want to put in
Sneeko's
the
calling
effort.
him
Sometimes
out.
it's just available and then you do it. Or
Yeah.
like say she's in the kitchen or something and then you decide to whip it. But like the effort or calling her an Uber, some random girl that said let's fuck. There's something unattractive about that. The scenario that you're presenting
Destiny's
is just
not
kinda,
buying
eh.
any of it. He's like,
Well,
you guys are
Overall,
just
men still would fuck anything, but it depends
Here-
on the circumstance.
This is what I joke about on stream, okay?
Yeah.
If you want to get black pilled, okay, you watch some YouTube shit and it'll black pill you. If you want to get really black pilled, you talk to attractive women and you see how they live their lives, because that will the attention they get, the world they live in can be mind fucking. You're like, you're living a totally different
black
existence.
pill. I've never
But
heard
the
of that.
ultimate level of black pill, in my opinion, is seeing really attractive men that are in denial about how much they could pull with very little effort. Because all three of you, I know, could slay like fucking crazy
Yo,
with
he's
minimal
so
risk
sick.
between the
Oh
way you
my
guys look,
God.
between the clout you have, between
Yeah,
the money
there
you've
you go.
got, the status you've got.
But we still
But
have
you
to
guys
put
are
in
acting
work,
like
though,
you
to a degree, Destiny.
not even. You're done putting in the work.
That's not true
If you
at
want to
all.
just fuck, you're done.
Yep.
You put in the work.
Yes.
It is
You're
easy.
clouded up. You got money. You got status.
it-
You're in fucking South Beach in
Yeah.
Brickell. Like
Yes,
you put in
man.
the work.
It is
How the
easier.
fuck
But
do you
yes,
not
I
pull?
get that part,
You're
but like,
still in the
bro,
game.
you can't just like be. Okay, you can, Destiny, but like to be honest with you, bro, you're liable for like screenshots being posted everywhere. Oh, look what he's saying to girls, bro.
What? Then you want to fuck?
Yeah,
You think somebody's gonna post a screenshot and say, "Oh, look at this creepy guy. He said he wants to fuck my
Bro, they've
pussy."
been
That's so
canceled for that
crazy.
so
every
much.
single day, someone's being told by the social media world,
Mhm.
"Oh, he did this, and that. Look at
Yeah.
the screenshot."
Yeah,
Dude,
fair
you
enough.
can play many different ways.
That
I'm
is
just saying,
not
bro, like,
that is not a
to
bad
do things the
argument.
right way to
I-
protect yourself as a man as well. You gotta move a certain way.
I did not expect this argument from him. Holy shit, that is a pretty good argument. Like his social status when it comes to his business, and that's gonna affect his business. Yeah.
You can't be doing risky shit like that all the time. And if you do,
But
someone's gonna say, "You know what? I want
that's
clothes
not
as well. I'm
connecting
gonna
with
post
his
that shit."
previous
You had something,
argument.
right?
Yeah,
I want
go
to make
for
sure the girls get their things in. Go ahead.
I mean, we totally
Yeah,
veered
he
off this
dodged
topic.
that like a
Sorry.
genius.
This is going off
Holy
of like
fuck.
when you guys were saying that women, they play the games first.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm
Oh
trying to
my
wrap my
God.
head around is, if women play games first, don't you think that's because,
Men play
let's say
games?
hypothetically, they were straight up and said, I want to fuck. There's a certain, view that you guys portray on us. We don't want to look as whores. So then
Yeah.
it's like, it's kind of a lose-lose for us. So if we play games, we're losing. If we're straight up, we're losing. So where do we even go with that?
Well, I mean, it's up to the girl, but the thing is with women is that the reason why they play the game is, yes, there's social consequences. If a girl goes up to a guy and says, I want to just fuck, well, that guy might not respect her or take her seriously. And then on top of that, why would a girl go ahead and say, oh, let's just fuck, when in reality, she can get a date out of him, she get resources out of him, she get attention out of him, she could take time up from him. Like, girls rarely treat, like, I look at sex as like a handshake. If we look at it strictly, right? It's just a handshake. But women don't treat it like a handshake. They treat it as a value. That's an equal value exchange. Women treat it like a value loaded exchange. I need something in return. I need some attention. I need some time. I need to feel special for her to have sex. So why would a girl go ahead and trade sex for equally when she can actually get way more out of it? And what most girls do is they leverage sex for compliance or time or attention to some degree.
I
Is
cannot
what most women
disagree
do,
with that.
aka play the
That
game.
would make sense.
So then we should play the game.
I'm not saying women shouldn't or should not, but what I am saying is that most
They
girls
do.
play the game by virtue of this more beneficial to play the game than to be straight up.
Okay.
And men,
They're
in return,
incentivized
must
to.
play the game because when a man, and this is statistically, this has been proven, when a man sees an attractive woman, the part of his brain that actually starts to activate is the part of the brain that tries to figure out how to fix things. So he sees a hot girl. Okay, how do I get laid? And he starts going into deductive problem solving. And that's where he's like, okay, let me flex status. Let me flex my teeth, maybe. Let me flex my charm, whatever it may be. Because he knows getting sex out of a girl most of the time is going to require work to some degree. So the girl's job is, oh, you want sex from me? You'll never get this. Turns into fucking Borat. And she's like, I'm going to go ahead and make you work for it to some degree. Now, the more attractive the guy, maybe the less she's going to make him work. But he still has to do something. Very rarely he's going to say, okay, just fuck me. That happens sometimes, but far and few between.
Can I ask a simple question again? I
Yeah,
won't
sure.
go back and forth on it. So
Yeah.
just
Depends
curious,
on the
if
situation.
men didn't enforce the social consequences of women sleeping around as much, would women play less games? If they weren't worried about being called a slut or a whore
Yeah.
for sleeping around a lot,
Yeah.
could you be more upfront with women?
Yep.
Maybe.
That's a good
I
question.
can speak on
So
that.
you're saying if
Yep,
men
I
didn't
can-
shame women for being
I
girls,
can definitely speak on that because of my background and where I come from. Where it's like tourism, basically, when you go on holiday, you're with your friends, or even in the best case, you're alone, and anybody who's from your normal life doesn't know what you're doing. They have no idea where you are, what's going on, or any of that. And it's not going to tarnish your name. And women and men act like fucking animals. Absolute animals. People having sex in the fucking street. You're having like orgies and fucking threesomes and shit all the fucking time. Like, I've lived that lifestyle. I can speak 100% on that behalf, that if it was not the case where they're called sluts, they're judged by how they are, it is fucking easy game when it comes to sex. So easy.
would they be more upfront?
Because I'll be honest, when I was in California, and again, I didn't have socials or anything because I didn't want to meet people like that.
Yeah.
Half the women that I ended up hooking up with had no hookups in their profile. And I don't think it was because they're
Every girl
just
puts that.
playing
Yeah.
games or whatever, but it's because they don't want to be seen as a slut.
No,
but
of
that
course.
enforcement of like who's a slut, and again, I don't want to say where do the games start. Seems like it comes mostly from men.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
it's okay. That's a good point.
No,
it is social, but
girls
I would
slut shame
argue.
each other
Yeah, I was
more
gonna,
than men.
yeah, I think women slut shame each other way
Yeah,
more
but
than
is
men
As
it
do.
soon as
because-
they
is
get
it
in an
to-
argument, the first thing they call each other is a whore, a slut. You have 30 body. Oh yeah, what about that
yeah,
dude?
but
you fuck-"
because they know men
but-
care about it.
But no, because
Yeah.
they know inherently that that's where their value stems.
But I
So
get
you're
that.
acting in like in this hypothetical world that's never
He's
going to exist.
right,
this
it does
blue pill world
always
where,
come
like, we
back-
don't
it
give a
does
fuck
come
about
back
body
to
count
the
at all.
men.
There's no point because
Sneak
that's
was one, yeah.
this is biology. Your body count matters if you're a
Yes, it
woman.
does.
So
But
that's a
it comes
hypothetical that
back
makes
to
no
men
Men
sense.
used to
because
be
they
the
are the one who
predominant
will
like
put the value on it.
contributors to slut shaming women, but I think in today's day and age, you can't get away with it. If you slut shame girls all the time, just a matter of time until you get canceled, fired, or whatever. Like a regular guy can't run around slut shaming girls like 50 years past.
No, but I don't want to use slut shaming because it's a whole other thing. But I'm saying men in general will keep body counts in mind. If they didn't care,
Mhm.
don't you think women would care less?
Yes, you.
As a
Because there's a
yeah.
lot
Yes,
of
I
women that
agree.
like, you
I
can't
agree.
be ultra upfront because like,
Definitely.
the woman wants to be a little bit of
1,000,000%.
bitch because she doesn't want to seem
'Cause
like a
she's gonna seem a
whore,
certain
even if
way,
she just
yeah.
want to fuck.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
agree.
It's like,
I
yeah.
agree. They're going to play the game
Yeah.
to preserve their value to a degree as well. But also, you got to look on the upside for her. She gets way more out of it by playing the game. But then
Depending.
by
I
now-
mean, unless she just wants to fuck, but maybe you guys don't believe that's a thing. So.
No, it is. It
Yeah, but
definitely,
happens,
but
yeah.
it's
It's
far and
much
few
more
between.
rare compared to men.
Yeah.
Women want our time. We want sex without any time.
Sure.
And
But
even if I, well,
I
and think
can't
about it, okay, I just
disagree.
want to fuck, but you know what? I can get a dinner date out of this.
Free dinner.
Why not? Why not?
Wait, let's go to Rumble.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
we 2.5 hours still not a Rumble.
Fuck, guys.
Yeah, okay, yo, kill Twitter and Twitch. Guys, come on over to Rumble right now, and then what? We're going to turn to ladies?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, come on over to Rumble right now. Facebook and Twitter streams are going down.
Okay. Let's Okay. Let's. Yeah, we said Matt Walsh, didn't we? Or trigonometry. Transgender YouTuber reacts to my book, Johnny the Walrus. Well, this must be fun. This should be good. Let's see if this works. Oh, it worked. Holy shit.
Today, we're going to be canceling Samantha Lux, who is a YouTuber and, quote, trans woman that is a biological male with a YouTube channel. Actually, a quite popular channel with well over 600,000.
Wait, did Trump get arrested at the end or not? Yo, he got indicted. I don't know what happened. They went to court. Basically, they said that he has 34 counts against him. And he pleaded not guilty to any one of them. And that's as far as I know. I don't know what else happened after that. And I think that was like yesterday or the day before. Maybe I'm missing like a lot. But as far as I remember, that's what happened.
Subscribers somehow. Sam
But
has
that's
many videos
pretty
promoting
big.
transgenderism and quite often responding to perceived instances of transphobia. One of the most recent videos on the channel targets, if you can believe it, none other than the leading LGBT children's author on the planet, yours truly. Sam stumbled across my children's book, Johnny the Walrus, which is still available for pre-order over at johnnythewalrus.com, by the way.
What's my opinion on that? To be honest, he's a president. So as far as I'm concerned, if he did all of those things that they're saying, like the sexual allegations, he's still a human being at the end of the day, and he should be judged accordingly. Like, I have no biases. Like, it has nothing to do with his position in the world or his position as prior president. Yeah. I mean, I don't like Joe Biden either. Doesn't mean I like Joe Biden, but yeah, if he did those things, whatever it is exactly that he did, because as far as I remember, it was like with, what's her name again? I completely forgot. I forget her name. The one with the big boobs, the blonde, Stormy, something Stormy. Yeah, so if he did those things, then he should be judged accordingly, and he should face charges the same like any other human being would. I don't think just because you have a position in politics gives you the right to do whatever you want. And in the case that he didn't, well, then they should, give him a formal apology, I would think, would be the best thing that they could do because of his position. I think that would be fair. Like, to say sorry and to go out into the world and say this was it was our mistake, blah, blah, blah. What actually happened, I don't really know the details exactly. But I did see a video quite a while back that explained that he had Stormy Daniels. He had this relationship with Stormy Daniels apparently, and how there were sexual allegations against him because, well, yeah, first of all, he has a wife, so that's infidelity if you're going with another woman. And yeah.
And does not approve.
Right, I'm going to go have a cigarette. I'll be back in a second. Like talking about Trump, there are a lot of conspiracies around it, like he was framed and this and that, but the whole, like, again, it goes against like this whole idea of the Matrix, and there are a lot of conspiracy theories, but I'm not a lot into conspiracy theories. It's not the ideal thing that I want to be involved in. I did my time. I went down rabbit holes when I was younger. And I was faced with the question of, okay, well, if the idea is to keep us scared and sheep, basically, well, the idea that they are these evil people, a group of people, the Illuminati or Shadow Cabal or whatever, controlling everything behind the scenes. Well, that idea in itself is very scary and would kind of keep people scared. So it's just like, well, what if they are the ones making all of these conspiracies to begin with? So it's just like, yeah, I'm not really a fan of all of that stuff. I think that the court will deem it necessary. The same thing with like Andrew Tate. He's been like with human trafficking, blah, 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 all of these stuff. And he's been released on house arrest. They've had him in custody for like 4 months now. They released him about a week ago. And it seems like they don't have any legitimate evidence on him to charge him yet. Otherwise, why haven't they charged him yet? Well, yeah.
Specifically, my video where I read the book to a group of children has provoked Sam's ire in a video titled, "Transphobes Are Writing Children's Books. Trans Girl Reacts." This is good. You know, I am sincerely interested to hear how a trans girl, quote unquote, reacts to Johnny the Walrus. Perhaps this will be a point-by-point rebuttal. Perhaps evidence and science and logic and bulletproof moral arguments will all be marshaled.
Fucking doubt.
And by the end of the video, I will have completely changed my mind. Realized the error in my ways, repented of my anti-trans beliefs.
Totally, man.
Maybe even because of this video that we'll watch together, I will become trans myself.
Yes, let's go.
It's possible.
It is totally.
So let's watch some of this and see what our friend Samantha
Is
Lux
it probable?
brings to the table.
Now, if you're familiar with the content that I create here on my channel, if you're familiar with the arguments that conservatives love to make about trans people, you would be familiar with transphobes' claim that we are indoctrinating their children, that we're making their children gay, that we're forcing their young tomboy daughter to become a boy. That's not me. Who, me? Who, me? I would never.
Okay, that was a man at some point in the life, and now looks like that. That is a very scary thing.
Love your trans girl. I love your tomboy daughter. She is great. What I don't love is a hypocrite. Matt Walsh, if you are not familiar with, is like an infamous transphobe on YouTube. This posted a video 1 week ago reading his book, Johnny the Walrus, to a bunch of little kids.
Okay, so we're off to a rough start here already. A few points. First, I do not believe, Sam, that you are forcing any child to do anything. Or making any child do anything. I am accusing you and your fellow propagandists of trying to heavily influence children with falsehoods, distortion, lies, and other forms of insanity that they, the children, do not have the mental capacity to sort through. So indoctrination does not often involve physical force. Because you cannot physically force someone to believe something. Belief requires mental assent, not physical assent.
Usually achieved through words.
You can coerce and trick people into believing things. And when they're children, that's very easy to do.
Because they are
as
sponges.
You know from experience.
They absorb everything.
Also, by the way, I appreciate being called infamous, and I won't take any issue with that label. But I am not an infamous transphobe because I'm not a transphobe at all. And when I say I'm not a transphobe, I'm not saying it to gain your approval or to convince you that I'm not bigoted. Yeah, I couldn't give it less of a damn if you think that I'm bigoted or not. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I am instead concerned with definitions. And the definition of phobia is
fear.
Irrational fear. I'm not afraid of trans people.
It's a Greek word.
If I was, I wouldn't spend so much of my time saying things that I know will make you angry. My fear, and it is not irrational, is of the effect that trans propaganda has on society.
You actually have no idea how much people in Serbia laugh at Americans in the Western world for the whole gender identity thing. Thank fuck for that. Thank fuck there are places apart from America in the world. That is one thing that gives me hope in the world and why I propose for changing the world. And, you know, I am on this mission to change the world. That is exactly the reason why, because at the end of the day, there will always be hope. There will always be a competition. And right now, America are looking like a bunch of spoiled fucking brats. Children that have too much free time and are fighting and creating fucking movements that are, you know, inherently toxic by nature. And yeah, totally. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Yeah. That is so fucking cool. Yeah. They should laugh at them. They are funny. It's actually comedic.
Society, and especially on kids. Okay? So we have that
And
clarified.
actually,
Let's
I
continue.
do have an
We're going to have to
idea
skip around a
because,
little bit because Sam's video is long, and it seems like a little too self-involved even for me to spend too much time reacting to
But
somebody
yeah,
else
you're
reacting
right.
to one of my videos. But we'll watch enough to get the gist and to discover whether Sam will be able to make any arguments
Let's
that will
go,
disprove
man.
or
Let's get
undermine
into it.
my central points. Let's keep going.
All right, do you understand the comparison that's going to be happening here? He's like, this book is about a little boy who thinks he's a walrus, and his mom, you know, also is convinced that he's a real walrus. Do you get the correlation?
Wait,
it's going to be about a little boy that thinks he's a girl.
Wait, before we go further, before we go into this, now that you've said that, I'm gonna go and, you know, poke the bear a little bit. Where is it? Now, I'm not a very big fan of I'm not a very big fan of this guy, but I have to show you this clip.
Well, join me now as the
Wait. Copy video. Fuck. Okay, I'll just do it like this. 1 second. I have to show you. I have to show you now. Holy shit. I don't know if you've seen this clip. You might have, but yeah. It's just very funny. It's just very funny. You have to see this.
author and commentator Angelica Mallet, Talk TV's Esther Krakow,
You've
and Fox
seen
News
it,
contributor
yeah.
Tommy Lowen. So Tommy
Where
Lowen,
is
let me
it?
start with you. Two people who just you're to blame.
This is
And I asked him this question, which seems to stump many other leaders. Here's the clip.
what is a man? Like, why do we need these
A
arbitrary?
man is a male adult human. I mean, that's it.
Right. Okay. I don't know
Yo,
that
we
we
have
need
to
These are
watch
just
it.
biological
We have to
facts, but they're
watch
just
it.
facts. They're not arguable points, are they?
But I think we have a right to self-identify.
It's
And you
so
said
As
you
what?
want to.
As
if
what?
if
Hang
you'd
on.
like to be a woman, you can identify as a woman. I don't know
It's
why there is such an
coming.
issue around
We've
that.
literally just seen a male rapist use that scam to get himself put into a
Yep.
female prison where he could attack vulnerable women inside a female prison, when even his ex-wife said it was all a scam.
Which is a terrible, very distressing, isolated incident, and I think it's easy to take that and say that means that no
If
one
I
can
can
identify
identify-
as a woman, and
But
that's
it's not an
that's
isolated
not fair.
incident, though.
But it's
42% of trans-identifying prisoners in prison are in there
It's
for sex
actually
crimes. There's
fucking
actually an
funny.
advantage, evidently, to identifying as a female because they never
Yep.
identify as male because somehow male prisons seem less appealing to them. It's really weird.
Really
anyway,
weird.
but
Is it
that's actually
limitless,
happening right now.
this self-identity?
It's coming.
It's not totally limitless.
What's the
but
limit?
when you're talking about International Women's Day, I don't know why we take the conversation around International Women's Day and make it about this.
But if
because
anyone,
there's so many benefits.
right? But if
to having
anyone,
a
according
day.
to you, can identify as a woman, anyone can, right?
I don't see a problem with
Just
someone
literally put their hand up and say, "I'm a woman."
But it's not an easy thing to do to go out into
Actually,
the
it's
world.
incredibly
It's very easy.
Incredibly easy.
You might think it's easy to say, but to decide to do that, to say
What
this
does
is
doing
who,
it involve?
Whatever that person decides, but to
Doesn't
go
go
out
like
into
make
the
up.
world and
Whatever
say,
that
I
person
don't
decides.
identify as perhaps the sex I
So
was
why
born
can't
as.
I
It's not-
identify? Okay, why can't I identify as a black lesbian?
Well, firstly, I mean, it
Oh
was
I'm serious. I'm serious. If I
God,
can identify as
bro.
anything without
Absolute
any need
joke.
to prove I'm actually what that is,
I
why can't I on International Women's Day say I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian?
I think
Look,
taking
she
it to a
doesn't-
kind of absurd
Yeah,
status,
look, look,
I
look.
think-
where
I think
we're
that's
talking
what-
about quite a
With
strong
respect, I think
physical
that
change.
you'd already opened the absurdity door by saying it is limitless.
yeah,
You
it's
can do what
limitless.
you like.
And you
Anyone
get
can
to
say
decide.
I'm a woman. So I simply ask you, why can't I?
I mean, this point kind of ridicules trans people to an extent.
Actually,
and
I think
that's-
what
I
you
think
said
that's
ridicules
problematic.
trans people. Because actually, people who go through the full process
Sheesh.
of transition, who actually go through what we used to call a sex change, which I don't think you can.
Yo, that's so funny. That's so fucking funny.
Or something, and the mom is convinced that he's a real girl. How creative. How did you ever come up with such a creative, powerful analogy for children who don't understand what you're talking about?
Of course it doesn't.
Yeah, well, you're right. It's not creative. It's not creative at all. I mean, the comparison between somebody identifying as a different sex and someone identifying as an animal has been done a million times. I'm not the first to do it.
Yep.
South Park did it a decade ago. But the problem is that nobody on your side has ever come up with
You're
anything approaching an effective response to the announcement.
Talking about South Park, like they have got so much shit right, South Park, and predicting like the future, and The Simpsons as well. Like it's actually kind of scary. Actually kind of scary.
You've never been able to explain why it's wrong.
Yep.
All you can do, all you ever do is just scoff that you've heard the point before. Well, we know you've heard it, and you're going to keep hearing it over and over again until you answer it.
Yep.
All right, let's continue.
What is this thing doing on the floor?
We don't have to worry about that. We're going to read the book now.
This man has never met a kid in his whole life. Never interacted with one child.
Of
He's
course
like,
you have.
I don't give a sit down, we're
That
gonna read
is
the book.
totally a
I'm here for
logical
half an hour
assumption
and
to
then I
make.
gotta go, so sit
Yep.
down so I can film. Okay?
100%.
Thank you.
Exactly.
No, I think the problem is that you've never been around a dad before, which maybe I would have already guessed. I'm around kids all the time because I have 4 of them. But I have by now developed a critical case of dad syndrome. And that means that I'm just snapping my fingers and I'm keeping people on task. That's what I do. I'm dad. You should see me during chore time every night in my house. You, get over there, pick up those shoes. You, come over, vacuum the rug. I don't even remember anybody's names anymore.
Legend.
That's another symptom of dad syndrome.
Yep.
Okay, skipping ahead. But Johnny's mom's phone said it's not just pretend. So she went on her phone, and there were people telling her that this isn't pretend. He's really a walrus. Only a bigot would say that. How dare you offend? What's a bigot? Anybody know?
Kids are, I don't know how old these kids are. I'm not good at estimating age, but they don't know what you're talking about. You don't see their face? Did he run this past like an actual children's author and be like read it to a kid and see what they thought before he published it? I think he just went for it. Of course they don't know what a bigot is. They're 4. I mean, it does make sense that he would go for
Pretty sure you know what a
they
bigot
have
is.
the same capacity for intellectual thought as him. Like, babe, if you're gonna write a children's book, write it for children. Write it using words that they understand and that they know and that you don't have to explain
You would
for
know
them to
plenty about
understand
that.
what you're trying to say through your book.
First of all, don't call me babe. Second, did I run it by an actual children's author? Yes, I ran it by myself. And when myself came to myself and said, Self, what do you think of this children's book idea? Myself responded, Self, that's an exceptional idea. So I did get the go-ahead from an expert in the field of children's literature, if that matters to you. Now, Sam also says that some of these concepts are above a child's head. Yes, Sam, that's the point.
Yep.
Now you're getting it. If a silly story about a kid transitioning into a walrus is inevitably too weird and abstract for children, then what happens if we mix sex and gender into it?
Yeah. I know where he's
Does it suddenly become more appropriate for children? If a child, as you say, isn't even old enough to understand what a bigot is,
exactly,
or to hear the word, then is he old enough to be introduced to a concept like transgenderism?
And
if he can't understand bigots, can he understand what it means for a boy to have a girl mystically trapped inside him?
Yep.
If my book is above his head, what about a choice that will fundamentally change his life and alter him physically and biologically forever? Is that above his head too?
That shit
What do you
makes
think?
me sick.
Connect the dots, Sam. You can do it.
That's one thing that I don't budge on.
You'll need to eat worms and to put on gray makeup. The worms give you whiskers, the gray blends you in, the doctor says. And a simple procedure cuts feet into fins. The doctor wants to cut into Johnny and make him into a walrus. It's gross eating worms, Mom. They're all so dang twitchy. He doesn't want to eat worms.
Our children's... You see what he's doing here? With the analogies that he's drawing, he's arguing that parents are forcing their young children to take medications that they don't want to take, or to have surgeries that they don't want to take, or to transition when
You
they don't want
realize
to
that,
transition.
huh?
That's not what happens. You know,
Oh,
children
no.
have a say in the process.
Yeah,
Children
yeah,
are
of
allowed
course.
to make their own decision.
Yeah,
of course,
yeah,
with
yeah,
the help
yeah,
of medical
make their own
professionals, of
decisions, yeah,
course. But like
of
this whole
course.
part that Johnny's like, I don't want to eat worms.
I mean, it's not like we have to wait until we're 18 to drink, drive, have sex, vote, and anything that has any effect on humanity whatsoever. But when it comes to changing your gender, getting on medication, hormones, blockers, having surgeries, yeah, it's totally reasonable to take a kid's... they can make decisions for themselves, guys. Like, you don't realize this yet? A 4-year-old child has a say in it. Yeah, great, dude. Yep, exactly.
That would
Well,
be
it's
the end of
totally
it.
logical.
That's
You-
the end of it.
you-
Johnny doesn't want to eat worms. No
you
worms for
understand,
Johnny.
yeah.
No worms.
No worms for
I will
Johnny.
say we got exactly the reaction to the doctor page with the bone saw that I had in mind when we included that page, and I fought for that page. Now, there was, I will tell you a little bit behind the scenes, there was some discussion over here about that particular page with the doctor with the bone saw chasing the child, and I fought for that.
Yep.
I said, that's got to be in there.
Good man.
And it was.
Because that's
No,
reality.
Sam, but see, you say children make their own decisions, but children can't make their own decisions. If I'm arguing that a certain course of action is harmful for a child, bad for them, damaging to them, it does no good to retort that the child wants to do it. Children who want to do harmful things should still be prevented from doing those things.
Yep.
Why? Because they're children.
Exactly.
They don't understand what they're saying. They don't know what they want. And often they don't actually want what they think they want.
They're just getting
At
accustomed
Red Robin
to
the other day,
world.
my 5-year-old told me he wanted to order salmon for his dinner.
Exactly.
Now, I knew damn well that kid did not want salmon.
Yep.
He wanted chicken tenders and fries because that's what he always wants, and it's the only thing he'll ever actually eat at a restaurant.
Yep.
So I didn't let him have the meal that he wanted because I knew that he didn't really want it.
Yep. And
Because
he
he's a
ate those
kid.
chicken tendies.
And that's just for something as
Didn't
frivolous
say
as a
no.
meal at Red Robin. What if your son says he wants to become a girl? Or a salmon, for that matter? Not only can you be sure that he doesn't really want that because he doesn't understand what he's saying or what it means or what the implications are, because he can't, because he's just a kid, but also in this case, whereas it's at least possible
It's
to actually
fucking
order
insane.
salmon, it's
It's
not
actually
possible for him to actually become a girl, which is reason enough to not give him what he says he wants.
Yep.
All right, let's skip ahead again and see if Sam saves the best rebuttals for the very end.
At the end of the day, you can do all the fucking hormones and surgeries and shit, but at the end of the day, even in the future, it is developed and they find a way to completely transform a male, biological male, into a biological female, which cannot be done because it is in the DNA, and you would have to be able to alter DNA, which is something completely fucking absurd. So yeah, that's never going to happen. But somehow it's portrayed to children that it is possible.
Moral of the story.
Which
What's
is
the
just
lesson here? Aren't children's
genuine.
books supposed to have like a lesson that's, clear? Because I don't know what this is trying to say. I don't know what this lesson here is. The other lesson is don't listen to the creepy people in your phone. Don't trust medical professionals. Walruses are mean? Like, oh my goodness. Maybe take a writing class or something.
Yeah.
Ask a kid, like, do you know what this book is about?
Yeah,
Because
totally.
none of them did.
Yeah.
Like, you could argue that
Ask
this
the
book is
kids.
made for adults. Write a book for adults.
How about we start
Right, but
asking kids when they want to have sex and when they want to start drinking and driving? Yeah, let's start doing that. How about that? Yeah, good
For
idea.
adults. Or is it that you have to dumb down these analogies and these arguments for children brain because they don't hold any weight in actual adult language? But yeah, that is it for this video.
Yeah, thank God for that, because it's all gonna come round and bite you all in the fucking ass. Dumb fucking dipshit human being. Holy fuck. Idiot. Idiots. Absolute idiots. Like, this video is out there. This person has made that video. This guy has made that video, and it's going to be on the internet forever. I hope they realize that. Like, even if they are to delete it, there's archives. This is not going anywhere. And they're going to be looking at that in the future and being like, sheesh.
What do you guys think? You're gonna go
I
get Johnny
think
the Walrus the book?
You are fucking
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, since you asked,
speechless.
What do I think? I think you should probably in the future have some kind of rebuttal if you're going to make a rebuttal video. You rebutted my points in the same way that my dog rebuts the deer that he sees running through the backyard by just barking incoherently at them. Yeah, you're right that I did dumb down the arguments and analogies, but apparently I wasn't able to make them dumb enough for you to understand.
Yep.
My
He's so
story about a
fucking
kid
good.
pretending to be a
So
walrus was,
basic.
it would seem, slightly above your reading level. And that's a shame because it's a message that you might have really benefited from.
Yep.
And instead, I'm forced to say, finally, Samantha Lux, that you are, sadly, tragically, canceled. Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Matt Walsh Show. If you
He
did,
is
go ahead and
so
hit that
fucking
subscribe
based.
button right down there so you can stay up to date on
I-
all of our future content.
I am subscribed to you, bro, but YouTube doesn't want me to do anything.
Okay, so if I were a white
Because it's
person
trans
and
versus
I said I
conservative.
want to transition into a black person, and
I've already seen this one. Holy fuck, man. Dumb fucking people. Let's see what else. How following Andrew Tate ruined my life. Yo, I was literally just wondering, watching a video of him boast about Andrew Tate. Now somehow he's go home, you peasants. Restaurant owner was rude to her customers. Okay, don't want to watch that. Let's watch some short. I mean, just take a look at what's happening to South Korea. Women are protested and don't want to be machines for giving birth, and now they have a 0.84 birth rate. 0.84 birth rate. Yeah, their GDP is declining. Yep. Good luck to that. Good luck to that. It's fucking insanity. It is fucking insanity. But I still have faith in humanity. I still do, because, like, just as an example, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find this here, but just in case I do. Actually, I should. What are we doing? I don't know if you've seen this video, but I saw it, and the point is pretty simple. The point is that for 200 years, America had slavery, and black people were actual, legitimately slaves. And that lasted for well over 200 years, actually, from the time they were came in from Africa. And so, yeah, slavery lasted for roughly, from its origination, around 200 years. This video, and over the last 10 to 20 years, I would say, due to Black Lives Matter, due to the LGBTQ community in part, due to all of these things, the whole idea that I'm black and I'm not represented by my country, I don't have the same rights as white people, all of this stuff, which some people might have arguments for. I haven't heard any legitimately good arguments to believe it. Obviously the guy is Asian, but he talks a lot about, like, the black community. But it also comes from other types of races, I guess you want to call it like that. And the idea is that this has only been happening for about 10 to 20 years. And already we are seeing pushback on it. And this video is a very, very good message. And that's why I have hope for humanity, because that took 10 to 100 to 200 years to, like, fully be taken out of society, whereas black people have the same rights as white people in America. And that is, as far as I'm concerned, the case that has been for the last 50, 60, 70 years, since the end of Second World War and into the 70s, where the whole civil rights movement and where why am I forgetting his name? Martin Luther King, where his speech and everything, where they protested, peaceful protest. And after that, as far as I'm concerned, it probably took like 10 years to completely take effect, but eventually it took effect after maybe 10, 20 years. And within the 90s, already black people had the same rights as white people, as far as I'm concerned. The whole idea that, yeah, because cops shoot black people is not a good enough argument for me. I think that's a whole load of bullshit, because cops kill people all over the world, and it doesn't connect with your theory that it's because they're black. So anyway, this guy comes along and here's his message.
About what we're doing to white people. Let's talk about what we're doing to white people. There's been something going on for a while now that we're being told not to notice. More to the point, that we're asking white people not only to ignore, but to accept.
Good man.
The rising tide of racial hatred against white people. In the past decade, there has been a noticeable cultural shift in what constitutes acceptable speech as it relates to white people. Back when I was a kid, in the early 2000s, the mainstream American culture preached about respecting each other's differences and not seeing color. Nowadays, we say that not seeing color is racism, that you must see color. But the more I see how things are unfolding, the more I'm convinced that this is wrong. Back then, saying something offhanded about white people were seen as not appropriate, just as it would be to say something offhanded about people of any other race. But that soon gave way to our current times, in which there exists virtually no limit to what racial minorities can and do say about white people. I believe this is the natural outgrowth of a perverse ideology that teaches us that every societal ill is the fault of white people, and that whatever prejudiced acts we may inflict upon them does not constitute discrimination because we don't have the power to discriminate. And alarmingly, this is particularly pronounced in the younger generation. But is it?
And even another point on this, which is why I have even more hope, is that 2-3 weeks after this video was released, which this was like 2 months ago, about a month after this video was released. Now, you can argue that the reason that the next thing happened, which was like there were actual like black people themselves who either were a part of like Black Lives Matter and all of this stuff or not, irrelevant as far as I'm concerned, they themselves reviewed this video and were like, sheesh, like the guy has got a point. So yeah, there is hope for humanity.
True. Do we not have the power to discriminate? Well, let's see. First, let's take a look at the racial hatred at the interpersonal level. In today's society, it has become somewhat fashionable to think things and say things about and to white people that would not be acceptable if it was said about any other race. And we're being taught that this double standard is not wrong, that it is rather a form of empowerment. They'll attribute negative experiences that they've had with white people to their whiteness. You had an argument in line at the grocery store with a white person? They were acting entitled because they were white.
No.
A white driver cut you off when you were driving? They need to check their white privilege. Your actions, your conduct, and your existence, in other words, boil down to your whiteness.
Exactly.
And ashamedly, at one point in time, this was how I used to think as well. And beyond the people in my circle, I noticed that many people of color have this sort of blasé attitude, an attitude most particularly pronounced when there are no other white people around. Things are being said not just behind closed doors, but out in the open, not just between close friends, but between complete strangers. So here's the thing. This is something that I've experienced countless times, so I know that there are other people who are experiencing it too. I know it must resonate with at least some of you. The difficulty here is that no matter how many anecdotes I share, they are just that, anecdotes.
Yeah.
And people who refuse to believe that this is happening will just chalk it up to my experiences being a fluke. Or worse yet, they'll say I'm lying. So I've compiled some TikTok videos.
Legend.
I want you to take a look.
Good
at the
job
things
he
that are
did
being
this.
said about white people, especially by the younger generation.
Watch
The
this.
kind of statements people wouldn't dare say about
It's
people of any
insane.
other race. Take a look at what is stunningly in vogue in today's society and ask yourselves, where does this lead to years down the line?
Yep.
You have a token white and you're hanging out with your friend group of color, you need to ask permission from everybody in the group to bring your white friend. Like, don't just bring them. I might not be in the mood to deal with white shenanigans that day. That's all I'm saying. And another thing, it feeds into their ego. Like, don't let them think they're a good white person.
Accomplices ask, how can they support Black and Indigenous people of color? And sometimes I really don't know what to say, but here's one easy way. Just don't have babies.
Women can single-handedly
Like-
cause the white genocide that they are so afraid of. With 2.25 billion Asian women and 500 million white men, baby, it'll only take 2 generations. In 2
Disgusting.
generations, there will no longer be any blonde-haired.
These are some things I noticed about white American culture.
Disgusting.
Being grounded is a punishment to them. That's what they call punishment. The least grounded, least balanced, most destructive race considers being grounded a punishment.
Stupid fucking
They also say
argument.
really violent phrases. Like, they say things like, kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
A play
Why do
on
we have to
words.
kill the birds?
That's how.
Why is everything so violent? It's almost like one's language and phrases
Oh.
reflects one's nature.
So that new Jeffrey Dahmer movie on Netflix is the perfect example of the sensationalization of white violence. People have a much easier time sympathizing with white criminals than they do with Black victims. People think these shows are harmless, but they actually contribute to a much bigger issue. It contributes to the viewpoint that white people are less violent than everyone else, and white violence is something to be consumed in media, and that's it.
What is with Caucasian people and like their inability to like read a fucking room? Like, y'all act like you don't understand shit because y'all be the first
Really?
ones during a conversation about the Holocaust to get so mad when Black people be like, you do realize that the original Jewish people were Black, right? White people do not need to explain to anybody about us all bleeding red because, baby, you all are the people that need to learn that lesson. Clearly, history shows that you all are are the people that like to pillage and eradicate, enslave and oppress, attempt to suppress greatness because you all simply don't have it. Right?
Here go y'all cum goblins.
They're
who don't
actually
even live in the
people
fucking
like
city,
this.
which, by
Like
the
they
way,
are
the
just
Q-tip people are the
actually
last ones to
fucking
ever
racist.
talk about somebody stealing anything. Y'all wouldn't be in this country had it not been for y'all stealing it. So y'all
I
are
hear
more
how she
focused on
talks
people
this
who
on
may
it.
be
Yeah,
trying to get
all of them, they have this in common, by the way.
TV is a fucking necessity thing.
They all have this, and they're doing all of this shit.
You would never. First of all, if
It's like
you
they're
are
obsessed.
a
Like
male
they-
monster. That is how your ancestors got everything from stealing. People are,
and that's a behavior
Oh, this
that's
one's the
very
worst.
common among white women.
Ugh.
You may have not intended
Uh-huh.
that, but there are many white women who
Whoa,
act exactly like
bruh.
If you can find it in your heart this holiday season to donate to the Discriminated White Fund, you'd be helping millions.
Nothing says high protein like cicadas and cheese. Make sure you.
And nothing says caucasity like that right there.
What caucasity looks like. Roaming Asian grocery
Motherfuckers.
stores like it's an amusement park.
Explain to me why white people don't wear shoes outdoor, but wear shoes inside.
We are both white women. We are inherently a danger in spaces for Black, Indigenous, and
Jesus
other people
Christ.
of color simply by existing.
Jesus Christ.
It's white cis men who are part of the far right.
You motherfucker. This whole cis thing, yo, you guys can take that and shove it up your asses. Fucking cis. Cis white, cis men, cis women. Yo, shut the fuck up. I'm a man. The end. Whatever. Somebody else is a woman. That is it. Don't be putting other fucking labels on me. And feminism is doing the literal same thing. Yep, exactly.
Threat and the terrorism to this country.
If BIPOC stand in the street and scream at the top of their lungs, I hate all white people, I want all white people to go die, die white devil, you cracker bitch, that's still not racism.
You're not one of the
You
good
heard it
white
here
people
first, guys.
out there. Stop separating us from the bad white people. Don't sit out there in comments and say, we don't claim that. We are that. We are the ones shooting up schools. We are the
Oh
ones
my
raping people, the ones
God.
enslaving people. We're
And I'll say it. I hate being white. Which means I'm one of the good ones.
All white people are inherently racist.
Yes.
Can you be racist against white people?
Based off of the definition of racism, yes, but it's not gonna
Yeah,
hurt
technically
them and
speaking,
hurt their
yeah.
opportunities like
But
it does
nah, it
people
won't
else.
hurt
Well,
them.
technically you can. It's not like an issue.
You No, of can't course oppress not.
the oppressor. Why do people not understand that you can't be racist to white people? It's impossible.
Yeah,
the
of
system
course.
is not set up that way.
Yep,
You
exactly.
can insult white people.
Yeah.
But it is not racism. Me
Totally.
calling a white person a tub of mayonnaise and like a flower looking ass, it's not. That's not racism.
You went all the way to Africa to physically take black people from their homes, shove them in on boats where a lot of them got diseases and died, told them where they could sit on a bus, told them which schools they could go to, which water fountains they could use, which bathrooms they could use, and that's sugarcoating it. Those are just terms. I'm not even describing all the disgusting things that happen, and they don't even want revenge. They are letting you
Oh,
guys skate
yeah.
by asking for equal rights.
Yeah.
That's it? And you're still saying no?
But
They
you're Asian. You're Asian, kind of obviously, but you live in America. I'm kind of imagining you like to live in America because of democracy and the way things work. But somehow, revenge is now something that we want to be promoting on a sociological level. Great take
are
right there.
not as angry as they should be. Y'all are getting off easy, and you're still
Easy.
saying no?
Exactly.
Fuck you.
Fuck
Some
you.
people look at that and chalk it up to the
Disgraceful white
grumblings of the powerless. That's the idea that when you have a power disparity, the less powerful sort of has this general society given leeway to complain about the more powerful. The villagers complaining about their king doesn't have the same ring as the king making snide and crude comments about the villagers. But that's not what's going on here. Because although certain segments of our society refuse to believe this, even as evidence mount before our very eyes, in one side of the political aisle, people of color actually have greater power than white people. That is
Yep.
the truth that is not being acknowledged by the people that need to hear it, because this gets in the way of them wielding that power in the way they want. Malignant.
And so I know it's a bit off topic, but what music do you listen to? I actually, well, kind of obviously, I like rap. I listen to a lot of like English, not a lot of English, but when I do listen to English, it's usually like England English, not American English, or Greek rap, because I'm Greek, or even Russian rap. I like Russian rap. But apart from rap, I also have listened to metal. I like R&B, like old school R&B. Rap meaning hip hop, reggae. Yeah, sure, and house. Yeah, I think that pretty much constitutes my playlist. And then also like some like lounge music sometimes. Like when I'm doing some work, I like to put on some lounge music, like that type of like really mellow stuff that it's just like background noise. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. But yeah, what was I gonna say about this guy? I forgot. Totally forgot.
I've heard from somewhere that politics is downstream of culture, and I think that is certainly correct. We have a mainstream culture that tells us it's okay to hold prejudice.
Oh shit, yeah. So I've seen people review this, and kind of a few people get confused about what he's saying here, and I think I have a good idea about what he means where he says where people of color, so anybody who's not white, basically, or maybe that's specific to black people, I don't know, but what he's trying to say is where they have more power than white people is basically you can use the race card, which is like, oh, is it because I'm black, or because we live in the society where basically companies go out of their way to hire specifically people of color or black people or Asian people or women instead of men, and it's not due to the fact of their skills and their experience and their knowledge, it's just due to the color of their skin or their gender or whatever the case. And I think that's what he means when he says that in some levels of society, people, white people don't have a lot of power. I think that's what.
And our politics is then infused with this energy, and we see active, overt, and on the books racial discrimination of white people that those who are perpetuating this hatred is refusing to see as discrimination. They'll say, no, this is remediation.
Yep.
These are the same people who are making tenuous arguments that some of our race-neutral laws discriminate against people of color. And this is certainly evidence that in one side of the political aisle, people of color have more power than white people. Yep. Because if we didn't have the power, we wouldn't be able to put into place practices and policies that does this. That's what power is. Yep. Things like Minneapolis local government agreeing to a contract with the teachers union that says white teachers must be fired first. New York City's government enacting a policy of having white seniors go to the back of the line on life-saving COVID treatment.
I hate how in Serbia now that a lot of Ukrainians came because of the war, people are constantly harassing them because of the Serbian population is pro-Russian. It's awful. Yeah, I don't think that's good. That's definitely not good. You should be able to put your ideals to the side and say war is war, and you guys are, well, Serbia is basically, building a shelter for them, I can guess, or something like that, giving them a place to stay and taking in refugees, and they should all put their ideals to the side and just understand that these are people who have come from a place of war and they've seen things, and now they've found a place to stay and sleep and just live a normal life, which as far as I'm concerned, every human being on this planet has a right to. It's going to take time to make that happen on a global scale, but yeah, we do have that need. But when it comes to like political issues, like if people are pro-Russian, I don't really go against that. I'm not pro-Russian, but there are arguments to be made as far as I'm concerned when it comes to why this war happened in general. Of course, people are people. It doesn't matter if they're Ukrainians, Russians, or anything else. Exactly. That's the main point. Because if you ask me about my positions on the war, well, it's probably not going to coincide with that. I'm not on the Russian side and I'm not on the Ukrainian side. But to me, it's all a power play from both sides. Americans, because, well, let's not lie, this is America against Russia. I think that is the case. It's basically NATO against Russia. I want to hear it, please. Yeah, so yeah, no worries. I will tell you. Basically, I think this is a power play. It's a power play since the beginning of the fucking creation of time with human beings. The more land you have, the more power, the more influence you have over people, the more security that provides you with. So it's logical to assume that countries would naturally want to take over other countries. Well, because now you have more land, that provides you with an extra level of security. So this is just another power play on both sides. NATO is trying to get closer to Russia, their enemy, and China as a consequence, and Russia is saying, no, I want to get closer to you. So that's all that's happening. As far as I'm concerned, that's the whole ideal. If Russia could click a button tomorrow and take over the whole world, I think they would do that. If America could click a button tomorrow and take over the whole world, I think they would do that. And if China could do it, they would do it. That's all it comes down to as far as I'm concerned. Now, can I blame NATO and America for this war? I mean, they could have not done some things, which is like poke at the bear, which was like, our borders are now open, even though they never had an interest in welcoming Ukraine into NATO. Like, just being blunt, if they did, they would have already welcomed them in. They would have already given them fucking airplanes to fight against Russia, because that's what they actually need. But no, instead they gave them tanks, which everybody knows that you're not going to win with tanks against Russia, because guess what? Russia has a lot of tanks. So yeah, it's kind of obvious to me that America, being the country with the highest GDP per capita, or in general, if they really wanted to welcome Ukraine into NATO, they could have already done that. They could have already gone to war with Russia, as they have already done, but they've done it on the backs of Ukrainians. And there was an agreement that NATO won't expand to the east, but expand, except that this was inevitable. Yeah, of course. Like, the whole agreement between NATO, it all goes back to fucking the United Nations and the whole agenda behind that, which is basically demilitarize the whole world, but we are the only military left, which, as far as I'm concerned, that's a bad idea. The way I look at things is the world is fine the way it is, as long as there is more than one power ruling the world. Whether that's America, China, Russia, I couldn't care less. It could be Pakistan. Couldn't care less. You have one power ruling the world, that is a huge fucking problem, because there is no freedom left. If they don't like you and you're opposing them or you're questioning them, they snap their fingers and you're gone. Problem solved. And nobody can stand up to them, because you are the power of the world. So that's the only thing I don't want to happen. So what's happening right now, I think, is something that's been happening for thousands of years and will continue to happen into the future. Nothing different, nothing unusual. Everybody can call Putin a madman. I think he's just a president looking out for his country, making decisions that affect other people. War is horrible. Don't agree with it. But Americans are no better than them. Chinese are no better than them. Nobody's better than anybody else in this regard. A president has a responsibility to their country. And taking over other people's countries is strategically a good idea when it comes to power. For example, in 1600s, there were Ottomans, Austrians, UK, and Spain, and there was balance. Yeah, there you go. Because if you want to push your ideals forward, you also have to consider your enemy, your competition, and you have to compromise. You have to negotiate. You can't have everything exactly the way you want it, and that is healthy. That is why I believe in like a free market economy and all of this stuff. Like, it doesn't make sense to me why people would want otherwise. And this whole and into this like LGBTQ and Black Lives Matter and the left, the blue pill, is also the fact that they're fucking promoting socialism and like communism, like fucking Soviet Union. Like, we know how this shit plays out. This whole utopian ideal that everybody works for everybody and we share everything. That is a utopian, idealistic way of looking at life, and it's never going to be achievable because people are inherently selfish. You might want to put forward like laws that make us have to share things, work for each other. But guess what? If I'm in a situation where I work, my family works, the people I love work, and so does everybody else, and we are to give all that we have, and then that will be shared out to the people. But what happens when I'm starving? What happens when the people I love are starving and are dying? Am I really going to give a fuck about my neighbor and the person across the street, or the person? Okay, you don't want to talk about neighbors. Fine, maybe you like your neighbors. All right, what am I going to care about the person in the next city from me? I've never met them. I never will meet them. I don't care about them. I care about my mom, my sister, my brother, my dad, my friends. So naturally, I'm going to go against the system. It doesn't make sense to me. We need a system that applies on the human level, goes against the... I actually cannot believe I stumbled across your channel. You're literally saying the exact same thing I am. Well, yeah, I'm actually really surprised as well. Like, I've had other people agree with me, but not on this level. So I'm very glad to meet you myself. Likewise, brother. The pleasure is all mine. So yeah, I don't believe in these fucking bullshit ideals. I want something that works for human beings, okay? That's what we need in the world. And 10 years ago, I could convince myself that somebody else is going to make this shit happen. But in 10 years from now, it's my generation, our generation, that's going to be ruling the world. It's up to us. There is no alternative. Nobody else is going to get this shit done. So yeah, I've taken it upon myself to change the world, believe it or not. And so, yeah, that's why this is the kinds of things that I believe in. But again, I'm going to be wrong about some things. It's kind of obvious. And that's why I'm going to have people helping me along the way to make these kinds of decisions. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm very glad to meet you too, my friend.
A college professor that says white people should be killed and facing no repercussions. Cornell University banning white
Imagine
people from
that.
rock climbing lessons.
White people should be killed.
Many instances of liberal colleges doing the utmost.
Yeah, liberal. There you go again. The left.
BIPOC
Socialist.
equal
Progressives.
no whites, but they don't have the guts to say that, even though that is what that is. That's what makes us different than the mere grumblings of the common villager. The villagers have surrounded the palace, demanding Marie Antoinette's head. The power dynamics have shifted. That is a fact. Progressive media outlets do not cover these stories. Some people out there have no
Why
idea
would they?
this
It's
is
not in
going
their
on.
best interest.
But worse, some others out there know but agree with what's going on. And for those people to convince themselves that this is not racial discrimination, they play mind tricks and wonders.
Yeah, it's just a
They use phrases and
superiority
talking points
complex.
like punching up. You can't be racist to white people. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
oppress the oppressor, meaning I'm acting oppressively, but I've designated you as the oppressor, so everything goes. Or Abraham X. Kennedy's infamous words, the only way to
Kinda
remedy past
reminds me of
discrimination
fascism
is
and,
current
you know-
discrimination. Or when people say things like, what we're doing to white people is not racism because
reminds me
racism
of what
is
Hitler
prejudice
did
plus power,
when he
and
basically-
we don't have the power. They use all this mind-bending apparatus to dilute them.
Yeah, that mentality really taps into like Hitler's way of explaining things, where he was like, and I don't want to make an association now with all of this movement and the fascism and all of that stuff, because it's just one thing that Hitler did very well, which was played with the disgust sensitivity of human beings. We literally have something embedded within our bodies, our minds, where it's like, a lot of people are scared of cockroaches, and it triggers this disgust sensitivity. And when he talked about all the other races except for Germans, he talked about like how they were rodents and rats, and he made those kinds of metaphors that connected the, and it triggered sensors within the brains of the Germans and made them like brutally willing to do horrible and malicious things to their, you know, their enemies. And yeah, so that kind of thing is what he just said there. Where was it? Somewhere here.
Plus power, and we don't have the power.
Yeah,
They use all
exactly.
this mind-bending apparatus to delude themselves into believing what they're doing faces no moral quandary. But
Yeah.
in the back of their minds, perhaps in their subconscious minds, is racial revenge.
Yep,
We
exactly.
experience it, you experience it too.
150%.
See how you like it. That
Exactly.
people of color are using our newfound power to act this way and then pretend like none of this is going on leads me to believe that we would have done the same thing that white people
Yep.
did were we to be in their historical position. Because such acts have its roots in human nature, not white people nature. And one can only imagine what might happen in the coming decades when the demographics of the US will have shifted such that white people
Oh
will
yeah,
no longer
that's
constitute the
definitely
majority.
happening.
When the younger generation you've just seen have graduated from elite schools and hold positions of power in our institutions, our government, corporations, entertainment, news media, and so forth, how they might, in wielding the levers of society, be able to rationalize using their adult brain the hatred that was embedded in their minds during their adolescence.
Yep.
What we're seeing
It's a lot
is
stronger.
just the beginning.
Yep.
To the white people who are watching, I just want to say, You are not an oppressor for refusing to accept an ideology that teaches people to
Sorry, I got to go. It's midnight and I'm waking up early tomorrow. So see you and have a great stream. See you later, bro. I'm very glad to meet you. It was, I very appreciate the conversation. Go get some sleep and have a good night. Just so you know, I'm live in the weekdays. Usually, right now it's 3 o'clock my time. I usually go live from like 3, 4 in the afternoon. And I finish around about 7, 8 in the weekdays. And then weekends, I'm probably going to have like events and challenges going live. But yeah, if you want to come around during the weekdays, that's the time I'll be around. Take care and have a good night, my friend. I'm going to get going soon as well. So don't worry about it.
hate you, that teaches you that you are inherently bad, that your children are inherently bad, that you're inherently racist no matter what you do or how you think.
Yeah.
That you need to repent by taking affirmative steps in your life to redress harms that your ancestors may have done, or the racist actions of other white people.
Insane.
In fact, you are not an oppressor, period. You
Yeah,
did
I
not
know.
choose to be born white, just like any of us did not choose to be born in our race.
Yep.
And to ask of you, at the individual level, for example, to give your life in service of people of color, to be used as physical barriers at protests, to give away your house
Yep.
to black people instead of your children, all actual things that have been publicly demanded of white people, to ask this of you is morally reprehensible collective punishment.
Yep.
You are not
It
under
works
any
both
obligation
ways. Don't think of
to carry
yourselves as
yourself in
less
any sort
or
of way
more than.
that others demand of you just
Just
because of the color
for
of your
your
skin.
skin. Yeah.
This, you need to do this and you need to do that because you benefit from privilege thing is bogus.
It's insane.
It's just a way for people harboring racial animus to attack you.
Yep.
To say that the accomplishments you've achieved in your life isn't yours. And to silence you.
Yep.
It is not you. It is this ideology that is wrong and perverse. It is one cloaked in a shroud of pseudo-justice and
Agreed,
self-righteousness,
brother.
all the while
Agreed.
excreting toxic fumes of racial hatred.
Amen. And I'm not
It blames
religious.
all white people for the actions of their ancestors, something you have no control over, while absolving black people of personal responsibility for their own individual actions by holding that if black people commit acts of harm, for example, towards another community, that's the fault of white supremacy. White people are controlling them like puppets on a string. It's a backwards, transgressive ideology. If you don't harbor any hate in your heart but want to fight it as a matter of principle, this does not make you racist or bigoted.
Yep.
If you refuse to accept their premise in your head, but are too afraid to voice your opinion, you're neither a coward nor a bad person. If you're of a liberal bent, but there's a small corner in your brain telling you as you're watching this video that perhaps some of this is wrong, listen to your intuition. Maybe you think, oh, I agree with most of what the progressive left teaches about racial justice, but just not with some of this disagreeable stuff, only at the extremes. I'm here to tell you that the rot starts at the core.
Yep.
This racial hatred of white people is a natural outgrowth, part and parcel of an ideology that attempts to indoctrinate us into believing that there is current systemic oppression going on, that all racial disparities we see today is the sole result of oppression by white people, when there are other more plausible explanations to be had that these same people are silencing as impermissible hate speech. They're telling you, shut up. You'll take it.
And you'll
You'll
like it. Yeah, I like that.
But contrary to what they're saying, you don't have to take that. You can believe that the things that have been done in the past were morally wrong, as well you should.
Yep.
All the while believing that what is currently going on is also,
Also wrong. Yep.
That
Yep.
we're
Yep.
going backwards. That this is history rhyming with itself.
It's
The
just-
tables turning in an eye for an eye manner. As the great Mahatma
History
Gandhi
doesn't
said,
repeat
"An eye for an
itself,
eye
but
will
it
leave
sure
the
does
world
rhyme.
behind." But those driven by hatred would sooner gouge everyone's eyes out than realize that true victory for people of color would have been having history record that when the power dynamics shifted, we treated white people with a kindness that their forefathers may not have shown our forefathers.
Yep.
But now, it will say when we gained the power, we turned around and started doing some of the same stuff to white people.
Yep.
Segregation, social ostracization, hatred sanctioned by government and law. And we're doing all of this while pretending like we're doing something valiant.
Yep. Justifying
our
your
rights.
actions. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that there can't be a course correction. So, to some people of color watching who are engaging in this sort of hatred, whether or not you're acutely aware, the same people that act like white people as a collective are not people, but rather some pernicious alien force that has come to invade the earth. With this video, I implore you to ask
He
yourself,
knows what he's talking about.
what are we doing to white
White.
people?
Yeah, man.
As some people love to say,
Good fucking move.
do better.
Do better.
Happy New Year, everyone. I hope that this new year brings you love, joy, and light. 2022 was a really difficult year for me, but the difficult times were interspersed with times of happiness. Some of the happiest moments of my life.
Smart
actually.
kid,
So
man.
I'm grateful for 2022 and excited for 2023.
Yeah.
I hope you're as well.
Oh, smart guy. I don't know
Please,
how old he
do
is.
not give up your resolutions in January. Stick it out till March, like I do.
Good shit right there. Right, boys, girls, my fellow employees, I am the boss. And yeah, wait, what's going on here? What did I just press? Okay, I've gotten rid of everything. Great. Yeah, that's not very good. Right. You just do this. Okay, there we go. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, we get that to the top. There we go. All right. Yeah. So, my fellow employees, we've had a good time. It's been a long weekend. Obviously, you know the deal. Tomorrow I have a day off, and then I'll be seeing you again on Monday afternoon. What time exactly? Well, it will be like 3 o'clock, probably my time. So whatever time that is for you, go and check out the schedule down below, and it will let you know in your own time what that is, depending on where you live. Otherwise, it's been a great weekend. We've had a good time. We've got some more viewers watching the content. If there's anybody watching, and just come in, have a chat, whatever. Tell me your thoughts on my views on life. Ask me my views. You know, let's just have a let's communicate. Let's get shit done. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. You would be surprised about how many things I can help you out with. Okay, and so yeah, have a good rest of your weekend. Chill the fuck out if you want to. Tomorrow it's Sunday. Take the day off if you need to, or if you've been working hard. If not, enjoy your time. And yeah, I'll see you back here at work on Monday. Don't be late, all right? Don't be slacky. Right, okay. Time is money. I am the boss. This is the whole. And until Monday, yeah. Time is money.